to give in, despite the severity of the torments. The torturer may damage our bodies, but fails to defeat us. In the Discourses of Epictetus, a vast collection of lectures by the 2nd century Stoic sage, we see Epictetus repeating over and over again how one's ability to choose, or moral choice, as translated by some scholars, can never be taken away. In every situation, no matter how terrible, we have a choice to maintain power over our actions or to submit to the circumstances. Epictetus explains this power by telling how he would react when a tyrant threatens him. If he says, "I will put you in chains," I reply, "He's threatening my hands and feet." If he says, "I will behead you," I answer, "He is threatening my neck." If he says, "I will throw you into prison," I say, "He is threatening my whole paltry body." And if he threatens me with exile, I give the same answer. End quote. Epictetus illustrates in this passage that even though the tyrant tries to exercise power over him, he remains unconquerable. Sure, the tyrant can chain his legs, chop his head, or throw him into prison, but these are simply outside factors that aren't up to him, and thus, according to Epictetus, they're nothing to him. What counts are his actions, and no one but ourselves can decide these. If we want to be unconquerable, we need to be willing to endure any hardship. We must be ready to have complete disregard for what people think, to lose everything we have, even our necessities, to have our bodies locked away and abused, and to part from everyone we love. Any strong attachment we have, anything that we're unwilling and unable to separate from, but also anything we can't and won't endure, have the potential to destabilize and influence our choices. An example of being unconquerable is the psychiatrist and philosopher Viktor Frankl, who survived 3 years of imprisonment in several Nazi concentration camps. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he describes how Jewish prisoners became helpers of the prison guards, doing terrible things to their own people in exchange for food and better treatment. Frankl noticed how easily people succumb to harsh circumstances and do anything to survive, including betrayal and ill treatment by others. But other people refused to let the circumstances influence their values, as they continued acts of kindness and compassion. So the Nazis were able to imprison, torture, starve, and exterminate these people. They could not conquer them. Seneca stated that hardships aren't a problem, but our surrendering to them is. Therefore, a Stoic sage will not be disturbed by hardships, which means they can't touch him. I quote, "What element of evil is there in torture and in the other things which we call hardships? It seems to me that there's this evil, that the mind sags and bends and collapses. But none of these things can happen to the sage. He stands erect under any load. Nothing can subdue him. Nothing that must be endured annoys him. For he does not complain that he has been struck by that which can strike any man. He knows his own strength. He knows that he was born to carry burdens." Of course, the ideal of the Stoic sage is challenging and almost impossible to reach. As with everything great, becoming more unconquerable in the Stoic sense takes practice. The ancient Stoics realized this as well, but encouraged us and themselves to at least try to improve. Also, it's tough to be purely reasonable all the time, as our rational faculties don't seem to have a complete grip on our emotions. The ancient Stoics noticed that emotional reactions initially arise before we can intervene, so even the sages are startled sometimes. Hence, they distinguished the passions from the emotions. According to the Stoics, we have control over our passions: distress, fear, lust, and delight. The Stoic sage ideally remains free from passions, but most of us aren't sages and will most likely experience the passions, at least from time to time. The good news is that even when our passions strike us, we can still choose, even if we lay on the ground weeping because of what has overcome us and thus are to a certain extent conquered. We can still decide what we do next. So we could say that there are different defense lines the enemy can cross, from which the final one is our ability to choose. If someone crosses that line, he has fully conquered us. So if we want to become unconquerable, we have to defend our battle lines. In this analogy, the line of the passions we can defend with reason and restraint. The video How Not to Be Pathetic explores this further. We can defend the line of our choice, or moral choice, with the same weapons, but it's going to be a bit more challenging when the first battle line is taken. If the enemy conquers our emotional state, they will influence our decision making. For example, when there's a strong desire, we're more likely to base our decision on it, or when we're angry, we're more likely to act out. So when the enemy stands on our power to defend our ability to choose, we could say that his firepower is our inner strength, the power to make the right decision even when we're overwhelmed by emotion. An example of this we see in the movie Lord of the Rings, after Frodo accepts an almost impossible mission to bring the One Ring to Mordor and throw it into the fires of Mount Doom. The danger of the One Ring is its ability to create strong attachment between itself and the carrier. Consequently, the person wearing the ring becomes so obsessed with it that he'll do anything to prevent separation. Frodo indeed grows attached to his so-called precious, just like Gollum, who is trying to take it from him. Now, although Frodo did give in to his attachment at the very end, he was able to carry the ring for thousands of miles, overcoming countless moments of temptation. For example, most other characters would have probably surrendered to the ring much earlier, like Boromir for example. Again, according to the Stoics, there's only one thing truly conquerable: our ability to choose. Everything else is outside of our control and will fall to the whims of fortune anyhow. We can lose everything from our wealth to our freedom of movement to our reputations. But our ability to form opinions, desire, hate, accept, abstain, talk, or keep silent remains ours. As Viktor Frankl stated, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Thank you for watching.
The wealth of this world isn't in the ground, it's all around us. The Na'vi know that, and they are fighting to defend it. If you want to share this world with them, you need to understand them. You know, they never even wanted us to succeed. They bulldozed a sacred site on purpose to trigger a response. They're just fabricating this world to get what they want.
Can't believe that. That's how they do it. When people are sitting on shit you want, you make them your enemy. And then you justify it in taking it.
In order to fight a war legitimately, you have to keep the morale high. It means one side has to know that they're fighting on the side of God and truth and what's right. Once one side or the other becomes aware that they have no backing and purpose for what they're doing other than following orders, the morale drops. They don't want to fight no more. They don't want to kill for the orders of the slave leader. So they start to neglect their duties and obligations. You know, at some point, the power dynamic flipped after 9/11. If you look in the history of the Middle Eastern War, the troops started coming back telling everybody that it's bullshit like they always do. So the morale dropped. You're not going to ever be able to win a war over there now because we all know who's lying and who's not. It doesn't even matter who we align with and who we like culturally or societally. We know one side is doing war for profit. We know the other side's being invaded. And they're using certain means to get that done, certain ideologies and propaganda to get that done. But anything that you can come up with that's come from the mind of man can be defeated by the mind of man. A minimalist force can have a maximum effect if they understand the lay of the land, the psychology of human beings, and how to do asymmetrical warfare. You got folks who've been running through the mountains all their life. You ain't going to be able to do nothing with them. They're going to have the high ground. Every time you go up that mountain, they're going to be off to the next one. They're going to fight you guerrilla warfare style. You'll fight a 20-year war and get nowhere, just like they did with Afghanistan. They know the lay of the land. They can sit in a cave all day, every day while you're uncomfortable. They can use the minimalist amount of equipment to have the maximum effect. You'll never stop them. You'll never end that war till you leave. So You have to kill everybody or leave. And that's exactly the way they plan to continue to fight for a reason, because they know the alternative is slavery. We're not going to get slaved by a bunch of infidels who are going to genocide us. We'd rather fight to the last man, guerrilla warfare style, and do it from a spiritual perspective. They're fasting, they're eating minimal, they're praying when they're not fighting, and they're ready to die when you folks want to come play games. The Afghanis don't seem concerned. They can't be beaten yet. The Americans are losing money, they're losing equipment, they're losing morale, they're losing their minds. And the Afghanis just lit up another bowl of hash and just reloaded another RPK. What about the drones? What about this? What about that? What about it? Do you think the Afghanis give a fuck about drones? They're sitting there with 10 ounces of hash, thousands of rounds of ammo with guns from 40 years ago, and they're just waiting and wishing you fly a drone over and do something. They don't care. What else are they going to do except sit in a simulation with their family and farm and deal with a bunch of infidel slaves? What else is left? Wake up, dummies. True Islamics don't do war. They do war on you when you invade. The problem is you keep invading them and then crying when they go to war. Pretty simple. Don't invade them. They won't go to war. And let's be real. These beings are using the modern equivalent of bow and arrow, and you folks still can't get it done. I don't give a fuck if I'm an American and you got United States Corporation running all over. I say it's going to be me next. You're going to do to me what you're doing to them. Invade their communities, tell them they're the enemy, and start taking families out of the homes and looking for guns, weapons, and activity of terrorism. The same thing they did on Katrina. Does anyone remember? You think I'm going to side with a group that's terrorizing the world when they've already terrorized us? Absolutely not. All of life should be lived preparing to die. This is a spiritual, metaphysical / physical simulation arena. You're not a human, you're having a human experience. You're a spiritual being first, but you're here to use the body, not identify with it. If you ain't using the body to challenge and test and go past fears, you're fucked.
Greetings, folks. We're back at it. I don't know if you've seen the video yet. We're going to get video out to you at some point, but it's true. I was shot in the ear. You can see right there. That's proof along with the photo and the videos. I got a Band-Aid on right there. It was like inches away from hitting me in the head, right? Luckily, or not luckily, by God's grace, I had turned my head right at the same time that the being was trying to get me, the shooter. It just grazed my ear. Okay, so nothing a little Band-Aid can't stop. But let's be clear, people. They weren't trying to get to me. They're trying to get to you. I'm the only thing that stands in the way between them and you. That's what this really is, okay? This is about the people. I'm here for the people. I'm doing what's true and what's right, upholding the law, rights, freedom, principles for the people. It's not about me. That's the only reason they're getting to me, because I'm the only thing that stands between them and you. I got Bryan O'Shea in the back. Praise God, right? They already said it in chat. You know, who'd have thought that a crazy event like this would happen? But here we are. We're moving forward. They can't stop us. We won't stop, and they can't stop us. Bryan O'Shea is in the back. Let me bring Bryan O'Shea in. Bryan O'Shea, is that good on the bit? I'm gonna 86 the prop because I think we got it. We got the shot. Oh, we're still live. We're live. Bryan O'Shea. Your thoughts? Were you a witness to what happened to the proceedings? Were you there? Did you see the other guy who got shot right behind me and killed? What's up? What happened? Let me know.
I do not have first-hand direct knowledge.
Right. Now, where are you right now? Where are you right now? At some point, we're going to get into this nonsense. And again, let me just give the proviso. Some might say, I'm not going to say it officially. Some might say this was an extreme psyop to the point where I'm going to bring up where like Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield on the ear and he was just streaming blood, chunk out of the ear, just leaking. And then we're going to go over to like the video of Donnie who got shot in the ear. Everyone was abuzz last night with the latest assassination attempt because they're trying to take your daddy out because your daddy's doing what no one else can. No one else will. He's chosen by God. You guys aren't going to vote again? Yeah, daddy's out here taking bullets for you people. He's a billionaire. He doesn't have to do this. Gave up the salary, out here taking bullets for you, and you fucking slaves are so selfish and self-centered, you won't even support him for America? How dare you? Okay, never mind the fact that right after he got shot, there was absolutely no blood dripping or leaking. There's just a red spot like this. Red spot, and then something right here. No bleeding, no running blood. Slaves are so fucking stupid that they can't even remember when they've cut themselves last or watched someone else get cut and realize that blood drips. Les Donnie Trump has a serious blood platelet issue where he's clotting way too fast. You know, he has like some kind of, is that AIDS? AIDS does the opposite, I think. Thins your blood. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Go home and go in your bathroom right now and don't put a 223 through your ear. Like, don't actually shoot it with an AR, but just give a little cut on it, right? Just take a little razor or something and give a little cut and see if it just stops bleeding after, like, immediately. Because it wasn't even an amount of time. It was immediately not bleeding. No one can figure that out. They can never just look at something. It's like, again, and then they'll say, oh, man, the theories are a buzz online. All the Soviets and terrorists and schizophrenics are online theorizing and saying it wasn't real. I don't know. I don't know if someone was actually shooting there or not. What we apparently do know so far is, coincidentally, the guy who shot at Donnie, they say, just happened to be wearing a shirt for a YouTube channel that has 12 million viewers and it's all about guns. I don't know. And we can start there. We can start with the fact that there's apparently a guy online saying, I'm Mark David Chapman, or whatever the guy's name is. I'm obviously doing a bit there. He goes, I didn't do it. I wasn't there. So we're doing that again, like we usually do. You know, remember when the Sandy Hook website went up to help all the victims? The only problem was half the victims were still alive and on TV going, I don't know why they're saying that we're dead. We're right here. So we're doing that. Yeah, there's more going to come out, obviously, so I'm going to get out ahead of it. Going to go ahead and gamble here, going to guess, go out on a limb. Guns came from Arizona or somewhere else where they're really easy to get, is what they're going to find out. I suspect, obviously can't prove it. Just want to go out on the record here. I had nothing to do with that, too. You never know nowadays. Nothing to do with the alleged Trump assassination. I was here all day. I have a motive, okay? You know, you never know. You never know. So, yeah, I'm getting out ahead of it with the gamble, with the guesses. Oh, man, guy was 20 years old. He procured the gun without a background check, and it was from some place that was really easy to get guns, like Arizona. We got to stop this. Donnie almost died. This is serious business. Snafu Snaps is here now. Snafu Snaps, your thoughts on the optics that are rising as we speak?
Totally WWE, Vince McMahon, Blood Pack. Right. Fist pumping in the air.
You're breaking up. I can't understand you. Please get near the connection. I can't get the optics update because you're cutting in and out. I'm pretty sure what he was about to. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting the satellite feed in my ear. The update. He's saying optics high, very high, like New World Order minus Hulk Hogan high. WWE optics. It's real. It's the real deal. So. Apparently, Donnie didn't have his shoes on, which is good to know. You know, oftentimes when I do this broadcast, I do it without pants, right? Like, because you can only see me from here up anyway. So, like, I'll throw the shirt on, I'll roll out of bed, throw the shirt on, and I'll just, like, 86 the pants. No pantalones, you know, because who's going to know anyway? Turns out Donnie was giving a speech last night with no bulletproof glass around him, and he took his fucking shoes off to get comfortable. Because after they jumped on him, he was like, let me get my shoes. Hold on, we can't move. Let me get my. They laid there for a minute and a half, by the way. What Secret Service is this? What is this? I mean, like, are we this bad off Brian O'Shea, or is something up? Because they all just, first of all, the audience didn't move. They just sat there and looked around like nothing was happening. I mean, that's like the level of either fakery going on there where they're not scared because nothing's actually happening, or they're so slaved out they figure if daddy's here, why would we run or get scared? Daddy's going to keep us safe. They don't even have an ability to get scared because Donnie was there. It's like, hey, Donnie's here. We're going to go down with the ship. If we die, we're dying right next to him. Who even cares? Why would we run? Give me something about the optics, all right? I'm doing a lot of talking here. I'm excited. I'm excited about the recent events. Coincidentally, I was shot in the ear. Donnie Chimp was also shot same day in the lip. And we're going to release video and imagery of that tomorrow. Go ahead, Brian O'Shea, please.
Got shot in the ear as well. Kind of a graze last night. Fucking had my windows open. Some fucking
Brian O'Shea, please don't bring your sex life onto this broadcast. Very inappropriate. Whatever you and Jeffrey Phillips are into, that's between you and him. I saw he was in my chat yesterday.
Well, once again, I was dreaming, and this tweaker comes out all methed out, dude, just in the middle of a rip session. Just blast and catches me in the fucking ear. I had my windows, I was sleeping with my windows open downtown Denver, and it gets a little fucking weird on Colfax, dude.
Oh, you guys are like tweaking, dude. Can you tell my partner?
So I told him he was with his buddy, dude. I'm like, you guys are fucking tweaking, dude. They're just laughing, skipping.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't intentional. It wasn't an intentional gay act on your part this time. It wasn't.
Right.
It's just purely accidental. Casualty of spray. Okay. Well, anything else then? Anything else specific to like Donnie and what went on? Like how completely fake it looks, some might say, and how now we're going to use this to like pull everyone back into the matrix and support Daddy, get everyone to believe U.S. cooperation is where you get rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith, all that. Anything on that?
Yeah, it reminds me of like, when Hulk Hogan would get hit in the head with a chair and then they take the little razor blade and they cut themselves a little bit. It's like, fucking, right. It's like,
yeah, that's what I see now. Now you're on the same page I am. All right, let's go to the clip here quickly because that's pretty much what some folks might say happened is Donnie, they gave him like they rehearsed it for a while before they came. First of all, again, every other time I've seen Donnie talk, he's got bulletproof glass on either side of him. Why did he not have that this time? I'm just asking. Why are we like real comfortable? But yeah, some folks might say that we rehearsed the popping sound, pop, 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 pop. We do one of these, just kind of, wipe the ear with a little razor, maybe even just do this, jump on the ground, get jumped on, and maybe Secret Service does a little something, a little red magic marker on the ear. You never know. Little ketchup packet, right? Just smash the ketchup packet. All right. Secret, pop, 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 Secret Service on them, ketchup packet, up and out.
Like those things.
It's doable.
Insulin. They just prick his ear with the fucking.
Oh my God. Snafu's flickering in the back. He's turning his camera on and off because he just can't stand to not be the center of attention constantly here. He is constantly in his feelers wanting to be the center of attention. Yes, Snafu snaps.
No,
Optics.
I just got more optics to bring than O'Shea and BSBT.
Give me optics. Let's go. Give me the optics. Let's go. Let's go. Don't insult these people here. Just go right to the optics. Give them to me.
Okay, so also what's interesting is the guy that they're claiming that shot him, right? The violet guy. What's funny about it is they found him in a BlackRock commercial recently. Like he was a star. He in a 45. I have the commercial, the BlackRock commercial for you with the guy they're claiming was a shooter. So he was actually in a BlackRock commercial as well. So media
and the weird thing is, and another weird thing is the fact that like all the bystanders are now, because they can never keep this from coming out like always. Just like remember a couple times there were some mass shootings and it just happened to be that the guy was like in therapy with someone who specialized in mind control, who was like an extension of the Air Force, which is confirmed. This isn't theorization. This is mainline news and history that comes out, right? That a lot of times these folks are being followed. They're being watched. The FBI's onto them. The crowd says, who's that guy up there on the roof across from us? And the cops don't do anything. The Secret Service has the guns pointed that way, but don't do anything. I mean, that's what's coming out now, in case anyone's wondering, is once again, as usual, can't keep the optics, as your boy down there says, from coming out. So the audience is saying they were aware of it. There was at least 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time where they let the cops and the Secret Service know there's someone up there, something's going on, and they didn't do anything about it.
There's
what was it? The Mirage shooting?
There's also reports of the officer climbing the ladder and the gun being pointed at him. And they said they saw the guy climb down, the officer climb down. And that's when it took place. But I put the BlackRock commercial in your backstage. Just Pogo, media relations, guys.
And again, either some folks would say, and I can't confirm or deny, that this is a complete staged psyop, or here's the or, I'll give you the or, or your U.S. corporation, non-country, is so inept and incapable and incompetent that they let a 20-year-old retarded guy get up on a roof and shoot at your daddy and hit him, even if it's in the ear. Really bad showing, guys. Like, I don't want to take you back to September 11, 2001. We can go there and then we can go back and then go forward to a bunch of times where seemingly folks dropped the ball. I mean, we can go back to Dealey Plaza, where it seemed like everyone was in on getting John Kennedy's head blown off. So, I could go either way with this. Either we got like typical corruption, bad faith, dishonorable behavior, Cold War going on inside of U.S. corporation, where folks are being allowed to or set up to take out everybody's favorite daddy, or we got like Simpsons level psyops, because I'm pretty sure the Simpsons, they tell me, just this year released another one that synced up. We can go over that. You know what? Maybe we'll do that today or tomorrow, Snafu Snaps. I did it in the past, and it makes me look crazy to the people who are crazy, and we're okay with that, right? We're okay with that. But I'm going to post times that Simpsons just happened to get it exactly right, like when they predicted the election of Donald Trump, down to the woman dropping the sign and him coming down the escalator and the whole thing, right? It's just, we might have to look at that. What do we conclude from that? I don't know, other than maybe whoever's writing The Simpsons seems to have a crystal ball and able to accurately predict all these world events that are going to happen. We can go over the Slaved. Remember when The Simpsons dropped like a year before the Slaved 19 episode, where they had Asian people coughing in the box and laboratory rats were getting released, and then people getting sick and a whole pandemic breaking out? Pretty sure that was before it all happened. We have dozens of points of data and information and experience showing that these folks here are gaming everyone. They're predictive programming everyone. They're mocking and humiliating and doing rituals on everyone. And then they're laughing at you when you guys all get on Facebook and go, "Did you see Donnie got shot? Oh man, we got to support him now. It's because God's embracing Donnie and everyone's against him." These are the same people who tell me that I'm an insane person for standing on rights, freedom, and principles and going to jail over and over again, while your president submitted to legal policy, along with the Castro and all the other beta males. I'm out on the fringes over here. I'm actually doing the service and the work along with Brian O'Shea and others, and we're the crazy people. But what the crazy people say is Donnie's the answer. U.S. corporations the answer. Policy and code and attorneys and bar and institutions is the answer. Give us more. They love that red, white, and blue dick that gets jammed up their fucking ass every 4 years or day to day. They can't get enough of it. Long as there's stars and bars on that 12-inch dildo that's rammed up the average citizen's ass, they can't get enough. They say, give me more. Go ahead, Snafu. What do you got? I'm going to go to the clips at some point here.
You mentioned it.
Beyond ridiculous.
9/11. You mentioned it. 9/11 was an event. People were affected, but it was probably most likely done inside. Everyone who carries a $20 bill in your wallet, remember, it tells the whole story. It has a COVID mask, it has the Pentagon on fire in the back, and it has the towers falling when you fold it. So
you're theorizing. That's not real. You're crazy. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would the government harm its own people? They're just here to keep us safe. These are the same slaves who just got locked. I can't believe what I'm a part of every day I wake up here. I swear to God, I'm not wishing for death, but I can't come too soon. And then the joke is you probably get reincarnated here with these slaves again. I have to come back and do it again with these slaves. That's God's cosmic game and joke. All right? What do you got, Timmy? Because I'm flabbergasted that Donnie said, take the guns. Who needs due process? Donnie said, lock them the fuck down. Drove the debt up 2 to 3 times what it was. Told everyone to take the Slaved vaccine and put bleach in their veins as well. And they say, forget all that. Donnie's our man. He just got shot at. Obviously, the devil's against him. The deep state's against him. So we got to support him. You guys are fried. Shot. Hey.
Yeah, I just find it funny that like I can't bring like this onto an airplane like a nail clipper through the slave administration, TSA, right? They're gonna check 10 million people a day getting on planes to see if they have shit like this. But a guy can get on a roof with a sniper 1 mile away.
You got a license for that?
A major fucking.
Do you got a permit for that sniper there, boy?
The highest office.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Right?
Did you see Vincent
No, I'm not done. Shut the fuck up.
He's not done, Warthog Creature. Oh, man, he's got keys, too. I forgot. He just threw you right the fuck out.
I don't give a fuck.
That's it. Fuck him.
It's the same thing. Like any guy can just get on a roof with a fucking sniper near daddy. And also, it reminds me of Slaved, right? Every day in 2020, when those guys, when Trump and his buddies were doing press conferences at the fucking at the White House, nobody's wearing a gas mask. Everything. It's the most crazy deadly thing of all time. It's totally real, but nobody's wearing a gas mask. It flies in the air. We don't know if it's going to kill us all. Number one guy in the chief commander isn't wearing a gas mask at a press conference with a bunch of press slaves.
Timmy, can we bring up the oh man, I just lost it. I had a picture side by side of Donnie and then Evander Holyfield, where apparently Evander getting bitten by Mike Tyson had way more blood and chunks gone from the ear than the 223 bullet that hit Donnie's ear. Oh, anyone notice, by the way, that the emanation of the bleeding point was in the middle of the ear? There was no hole in the ear. There was no chunks gone, but the supposed emanation point was the middle of the ear. How is that even possible? What, does Donnie have like Dumbo ears where he turns this way and the middle of his ear gets shot through? It's just not even, the trajectory's not even on. They can't even, they're getting really bad at faking these psyops, some might say. Does anyone remember the goldfish out there who swim in a circle and forget where they just were? Does anyone remember when Fox Noise and the rest of them came out in the beginning of the scamdemic, and they were holding bodies by one hand, walking off, saying bodies were in the streets, but they were covered by sheets? Do we have to pull that up? Where they were in Chinatown reporting and they had bodies laying all over the ground that were covered in sheets, so you couldn't verify they were bodies. And then when the cameras went off, they picked up the video of them picking them up with one hand and walking them off. Yeah, the optics are high. We're NWO minus Hulk Hogan optics at this point. All right, I want to play this just so we can. I'm sure everyone's seen it already. It's
the fucking Jew.
Oh
He runs away
God.
from America, but wants to talk about all this shit. You fucking.
You're breaking up. All right, we're going to put you in the back till you get your signal together. You got to get your life together is the point. You got to get your presentment together. You got to control your yap. You got to get that together. And your connection's terrible today. So I'm not quite sure what you want me to do for you other than destroy this broadcast. And I can't do that for you more than I already have. Donnie.
Well, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh. Johnny, get down. Secret Service. SS, come on, get the SS in there. Johnny, okay? Quick, ketchup packet now.
Move!
Hold on, let me get my shoes. Hold on, let me put my Crocs on.
You ready?
Hold for picture. Hold on, stop, Don. We got press. Pictures? Okay, let's move. Give him the fist pump. They like that. Give him the defiant fist pump. This country's so fucked. This country, non-country, corporation land is so fucked. We gotta move, Don. Someone protect Don. This is so ridiculous.
The skinny little shooter takes the microphone.
He's fist pumping. Fuck you. Yeah. Don was like Charlton Heston. That's like a famous picture that's going to go down in history now. Don like Charlton Heston. From my cold dead hands. Thoughts? We got Tarek here now. What's this? Yeah.
It's just something I found. He had a picture of him. He called one of his fights, apparently.
There you go. The ear routine. Ear brothers. You got Evander and Donnie. Yeah, what are the odds, right?
I don't know. It's weird.
Tarek, what do you got, sir?
What I got is I just want to show you that I'm sure you've seen it, but the picture I put in the bag, the perfection on the picture, in the chaos that was happening. That's just fucking hilarious.
Is anybody buying that? Seriously, he paused for a picture with the Secret Service. They didn't even tell him to leave. Is anyone buying this? Yeah,
Like
there's
perfection.
the iconic. That's going to go down in
Look at
history
this.
with all the Democratic slaves who can't see or feel or think.
Yeah, not like ducking, like protecting his head. Like, expose your head after getting shot at it.
What that is how that'll be explained to the Trump tards and the Republicards is Donnie is just such a maverick rebel. He's so powerful and daddy-like and strong that even the Secret Service can't tell him what to do. You believe how powerful and masculine he is? Even under fire, he doesn't even care. He stood up and fist pumped in defiance. Anyone buying this? Seriously.
Look at the people behind him, bro. What the fuck? They're not humans, bro. It's another test. Like, okay, he's getting sniped. What did they just, dude? Wouldn't you just fucking flee that area? Shouldn't that, dude? If it was all black people behind him, wouldn't that area just be empty? Like, what the fuck?
It's like Jesus, man. That picture of Donnie looked exactly like Jesus when they took him down off the cross, and he was willing to die and be tortured to save the rest of us. Is what it really is. You know, he's Christ-like, this guy, Don. There's no doubt about it. And so am I, quite frankly. I was shot in the ear too, coincidentally. You know, this is where, and it's not about me. It's about you, the people. We're just standing in the way of the bad ones. What's so odd about this is I look at the narratives and I go, I either really am what they say, narcissistic and egotistical, and I'm like sniffing my own product, or everything they say about them is true for me, but they'll call me crazy while saying it's true for them. I go, when Donnie says he's one of the only ones standing between the people and the deep state, it's not true. He is the deep state. It's true for me. It's why I'm hollering and losing my mind on this broadcast. Because I'm a regular guy on the ground doing what's necessary while the rest of you are duped out of your power and position and choice following these tards and these psyops. Donnie can't get you your rights, freedom, and principles and spiritual faith back. Only you can do that. It's like I'm become Smokey the Bear of conspiracy. Only you slaves can prevent slavery and genocide. And a tear comes down, you know, down my eye, like the old Indian for keep I slip clean back when I used to live on New York. Only you can stop the destruction of this planet. It's not Donnie. Don't look for it the same places you keep losing it. God, you know what it's like to push this boulder up this hill and to have some kind of faith that people will wake up from their slavery and stop the insanity and the nonsense over and over again, and then have to watch them do it again. 3/4 of Facebook now, right back in the mix. My own father going to vote again. Going to get slaved out, going to get his rights and property taken. You don't even have any private property anymore. We go over this daily. And you guys are worried about Don. You're in inflation like never before seen since the last Great Depression. And you're worried about Don saving you when he's one of the ones who's helped to cause it. Printing up more money than ever with the centralized bankers and Federal Reserve, private corporation. These are corporations doing statism. It's fascism by definition. And you know who gets stuck with the bill and loses everything? You duped out dummies who keep voting and paying the slave tax. Did I say it slow enough for him? Did I say it enough times this week and this month and this year to finally fucking penetrate the thick ape-like skull of these slaves? Are we ever going to get there? Probably not, right, Timmy? You know, I'm hoping too much. I should just go the other side with you and sell legal advice like Alphonse and the rest of them, and then just go off and retire.
One other tip in these situations is to watch what the camera is doing. Look at the camera and the guy behind the camera. All of these people all the cameramen are just standing there taking photos while getting shot at, apparently.
Timmy, you know as well as I do, the cameraman never dies. That's the thing. The cameraman, if he's filming, is actually invincible by the rules of the simulation. He doesn't have to move or shriek or get scared. He's protected.
Right.
But Paul, like when they took the picture, if you look at it, like in the interim of all this happened, trying to get them into safety, they paused and they all have like a perfect angle, every single one of them, like on a picture. Amazing.
Optics,
Yeah,
man.
optics
There's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get everybody back invested in their statism and then demo crazy and buying into it and believing that he's our only hope. It just works over and over again, man. Works over and over again, I guess, till it doesn't, or with those it doesn't work with anymore, right? So while the rest of the slaves in their cowardice and ignorance and arrogance call me and others crazy and continue to pay for and engage in their own slavery, the rest of us will continue to come out of her, my people, like the Christed being said. We'll continue to create with or go with the flow of creation, right? We either create that flow or go with that flow, and it's antithetical to what you slaves are doing in resistance to life on life's terms and universal law, right? So just keep up with your little games, keep pretending. We all see right through you. You can gaslight the rest of us because you're narcissistic trash and you're cowardly, and we'll keep doing what you're not. And then if and when potentially this is reversed or changed, we will all know why, right? Those of us who can see and being real with ourselves and each other will know why that change happened, because some folks decided to actually be activists, as they like to say, to actually do something different, to get something different and deal with the consequences and sacrifices. Yeah, we're the reason, right? Those of us over here, see the ragtag crew over here that'll get no credit and credibility from the average narcissistic, vapid, shallow, materialistic slave, because broken system has broken teeth. He's missing teeth. Because Paulie Boy lives in a cabin or a trailer. Because Brian O'Shea's homeless. Because Timmy has a huge Jew nose and lives in the Philippines. Right? But no, we're not worthy of praise. Not that I'm asking for that. We're not worthy of credibility or credit. We're not doing anything or being anything. No, we're just a bunch of low-life conspiratards who are Dunning-Krugered out. We're the ones to just be set right to the side. The last shall be first. The first shall be last, the scripture says. This is the point. We're at that point. End time scenario to give birth to a new age and a new idea, which is a very old idea. It's called freedom, principles, values, rights, personal choice. God's will. So once again, God using the least among us to do the most, while the ones saying they're doing the most are doing the least. They're doing the most when it comes to staging shit and pretending. Boy, is it great. We're having fun with that. But like actually day to day on the ground, making change, you're not. You're not. Quite the opposite. Don's pathetic embarrassment went and sold $700 shoes, showing up to some local court and letting them fucking slave him like a little boy and not even answer to anything like the Castro and let his attorneys talk for him, just like Alex the Fraud Jones. Guys are grifters, cowards, and frauds. And the public eats it right up. Give me more DeCastro, the law scholar. He's another one on front page news everywhere. The hero. Give us more Don, the hero. You guys are beyond embarrassing and pathetic. And I will be in my little hole, in my little area, laughing my big fat belly off like a Buddha creature when the judgment comes down on you for what you folks have done, what you put your time, energy, attention on, and what you've not done. And who you've not praised, because it's fucking blasphemy. It's not about my ego. You guys will get it at some point. It's about the truth and what's real. And the majority of folks here are blasphemous scum, just like my father. Gets diagnosed with cancer the other day. He's the 5th person in my family. Mother and grandmother dead in the same year of cancer, 2-3 years ago, whatever it was. Uncle now dead of cancer this year. Father just diagnosed with cancer. And guess what all the fucking pathetic, embarrassing slaves have in common? They're going to continue to serve and pay for the cult. What does my daddy say? Gotta listen to the doctors. Gotta listen to the doctors, Paulie boy. What am I going to do? Come back to your supernatural beingness? Get your fucking head out of your own ass? Maybe. You just watched 4 or 5 people all fucking die with the treatments from the doctors, yet you're going to continue on with your insanity cult. That's why I have no sympathy for you. That's why the God of creation has no sympathy for you. You've gotten everything you need in the way of experience and in conscience and everything else. And you'll sit right there and agree with me that the last 4 years was a fraud and you got slaved the fuck out and it was embarrassing and ridiculous. And you'll continue right along paying for and serving your cult. Time to die now, I guess. Time to suffer and die. You don't want to choose to really live. So what other option is there? You don't want to fucking uphold the law of this land. You don't want to engage in rights and activate. You don't want to physician heal thyself with the supernatural archetypal. Time to suffer and die in the judgment because you're a kept pet, mind and heart controlled slave. There's no other way to see it and live it. I'm sorry, not sorry, if that offends your delicate sensibilities. You bitch ass motherfuckers need to wake the fuck up and grow up. And if you're not going to, you're in judgment because you're doing blasphemy, shitting all over the truth for your own ignorant, arrogant safety bubble you want to imagine and keep yourself in. All the bubble boomers. And no, that's not an ageist statement. It's more of a culture, as I and Timmy have coined here recently. It's more of a cultural affect. It's not really relegated to age. You know, at this point, you could be a bubble boomer and I guess be in your 30s or 40s. Whatever it is, you're just completely disconnected, dejected, disempowered, but you got this false strength front persona you put on for everyone on Facebook. You won't answer questions, won't be accountable. You mock and laugh at people like me when they try to hold you accountable to get you to think and feel and look and be better. Yeah, we're the assholes, right? No, you're the duped out, pathetic, embarrassing slave that I don't even want you around me, and I can't even call you my own countrymen or women. The same dunces who sat online during July 4th showing pictures of fireworks and hot dogs when you're completely slaved out and genocided out. Why don't you show us pictures of the chemtrails? 10 different fucking heavy metals they just tested, the fog over on the West Coast, you know, the moisture in the air, 1,000 times what it should be in heavy metals. You slaves won't show pictures of that. Talk about how you're breathing it in and how every other child's coming out fucking autistic at this point with tiny genitals. I wonder why. That's where you say, Paulie boy, now we know why you're so upset. Right, because I'm autistic with tiny genitals. See? I'm talking from first-hand experience here. Snafu Snaps is in the back now. Trying to bring some levity to this broadcast because I'm tired of screaming and yelling and tired of trying to get through the thick ape-like skulls of the folks around me and in this world, because it's not looking good, people. It's not looking good. It's not a good look on us as Americans where we're at right now. And once again, I'm going to have to go through slavery and genocide and psyops again, like I have many times before, at the whim of you duped out, pathetic, cowardly slaves. So I'm cool with it. If I have to go through it and experience it and can see, well, then I'm going to bring it to your fucking table and mock you and humiliate you and do all the things you beg for. Just like you do from your masters. I'm going to give it to you from the other side because I'm one of you, right? So I can speak on it. You know, if you don't like it, it's because you don't like yourself and having a mirror hold up to look at who and what you are. Go ahead, Snafu Creature. I know it's hard for you to shut the fuck up till I'm done talking because I never stop talking here. It is my broadcast.
Strike the fuck out of this until you quit supporting Nazi fucks like Tim.
You're going to strike the fuck out of me now?
Yeah, because I threw him in the back for 5 seconds to finish.
You're not going to threaten me and you're not going to manipulate me. And if you keep doing it, I'm going to stop forgiving you. If you keep doing it, I'm going to stop forgiving you and I'm going to turn you out of this circle and you're going to be on your own. I'm not interested in what you think and want. Timmy's my co-host. He'll do what he pleases because I gave him that power and ability, and you will not try to threaten me to get me to do something different or what you want. You're a selfish, greedy little cretin, and I'm sick of your nonsense. Take your bullshit elsewhere. Go ahead. I'm doing it. I'm putting you in the back. I don't want to argue with you and fight with you. I'm tired of your fucking bullshit games. I come here to do my broadcast. It's not yours. You're a selfish, self-centered, greedy little cretin. You're unthankful and ungrateful, and you're constantly threatening me and turning on me. You are the pogo agent scum. You are the person who has little to no credibility at this point. You are the person who can't stay out of your own feelers because you didn't get what you wanted again every fucking day. I'm tired of dealing with your broke childlike ass. Go sit in the hospital and get ready to die because I'm sick of you. You don't want to get right. You don't want to be part of this team or what we do here. You don't want to stand for anything. You're doing nothing on the ground. And then no matter how much time and energy and attention I give you, how much I play your videos, how much I entertain you, it's never enough. So you're going to get me to the point where I'm going to say, do your fucking worst. And then I'm going to activate on you. Okay. And then I'm going to drag you, if you keep harassing me and interfering with my channel, into litigation. And your chubby brown ass is going to have to shower for the first time this week and show up to court because I'm sick of you. Okay. Go ahead and strike this fucking channel, get it taken down for 20 minutes. It'll be right the fuck back up. And I'm going to entertain at some point when I get back where I'm going and I get secure, adding you to the list of scum who I'm going to have to drag in and give you an ultimatum. You do this or else. Stop fucking interfering with me and harassing me and using false policy to strike my channel because you didn't get what you wanted. It doesn't work for you. You've been shown you have no power with me. Stick to doing it with Goblin and Illumitardi and all the rest of them who sit down for 30 days at a time every time you do it. You can't even keep me gone for more than 20 fucking minutes. You have no more power with me. Your striking has no effect and no power. You better find a different way to deal with this one. That's the advice, non-advice I'm giving you, because it's not working for you. You're going to create a situation where, regardless of me caring for you and wanting to work with you, I'm going to cast you the fuck out, and I'm not going to forgive you unless you come back with an extreme change in your beingness, and it's not going to be you pretending that either, like you like to do. So if you want to go there with me, and that's the way that we can handle it. And you'll have no quarter here. You'll have no ability to speak here. You won't get your videos played here. You won't get promoted. And I, quite frankly, will rebuke you as the scumbag that you were acting like. I'm tired of it. Every fucking day I got to come here and be interfered with by you and the likes of you because you're a bunch of jealous, envious, needy, baby-like haters. Go get your own fucking character, persona, and presentment. Go get your own fucking life and broadcast. Stay the fuck out of mine. What say you? Make it quick. I'm moving the fuck on.
No, it's fine. If you support people getting their fillers.
You're cutting in and out. I can't even hear you, you fucking retard. Even right now, I'm sick of you, and I'm still letting you talk to me and get your point across, and we can't hear you. Because you're cutting in and out. You want me to destroy this broadcast by letting you talk incessantly when you can't be understood. $185 people watching and listening to this crap. Once again, that's what it's all about. You got 185 people you couldn't get any other way watching and listening to you fuck up and fail and me entertain it and be part of it. Why? You're gone. Done with it. Fucking constantly surrounded by incompetent, incapable, slaved out, retarded people on every level. That's why I'm going back out to the desert, back out to the mountains. I'm done. At some point, I'm going to be done with this fucking broadcast, and you folks are going to get what the fuck you want. I'm sick of you. Tired of having to fight for fucking airtime. Tired of having to fight to keep myself in alignment and do what the fuck I come here to do and avoid you scum. It's all it's about subconsciously. You want to fuck up what I'm doing or interfere with the connection between me and that force and this audience. It's all it's about subconsciously. So you're going to get what you want at some point. Because I'm going to make the decision to do it, not you. Go ahead, Brian O'Shea and Timmy and others, and we're going to get back to the video at some point here.
Brian, your thoughts?
Spiritual warfare, demons, all the folklore about demonic creatures. But I don't know. I was having a strange thought today, man. Like you gotta be full circle with this shit. So you gotta be a demon sometimes, or you know what I mean? Like it's like beneficial, I think, to experience that. Like if you were a demon at some point, then you could relate to demons. You could see demon activity. But it led me to a question about like Satan, dude. Can Satan come back, dude? Can the prodigal son return, dude? He was the shit. Apparently, the folklore, dude. The motherfucker was music when he moved, but then he went demon. He went fucking King Von, dude. He went demon style.
Yeah, he's the agent. He's the one who wants to continue the same rap day after day to try to get everyone else to stop what they're doing so he can say he won. He's broadcasting now at 6 live viewers. There's no one else here because he's stricken everyone else. He thinks that's what community and truth and freedom and rights and co-creation is all about, apparently. He's the demon scum. He's the pogo trash. He's the one who talks nice in your face and acts like everything's cool. Then, as the woman says, goes to Cynthia's last night and hates on me and talks shit about me. You're all a bunch of cowardly trash. And we all know you wouldn't do what you do in the room with anybody. You're such a fucking punk coward. I'd sit you right the fuck down.
And real quick, for the record, like I put him in the back for 5 seconds to just finish what I was saying. Like it was maybe going to be 5 more seconds. He ran away and then started making his usual false claims in the chat. So I timed him out for 5 minutes. And then that's what, so he's triggered in his feelings. And then he's like, I'm going to strike the channel. After everything, Paul just went on his monologue for 10 minutes about all these powerful points. And then it's like, this guy's in his feelings and wants to strike the channel because of...
I'm surrounded by loser failures. Surrounded by them who can't stop fucking sucking my feet and using me or hating on me when they don't get what they want. Been surrounded by them for years. Can't get rid of these motherfuckers. Incredible. There's another one down there just as we speak. Broken system, broken trust. And the other ones, whoever's channel this is, throw this piece of garbage out. Don't want to look at them. Sick of them. 2 years of the Rob G coward. Can't even get up here and talk to me face to face. He's such a punk coward, but follows me everywhere I go and goes to third restream channels to be able to snipe at me from the chat because he can't get into my chat. You imagine a grown man would go to a secondary chat just to make me see something that he knows I'm not going to see because I already blocked him? You're a loser, failure, coward. Go get a job, get a life. Go do and be something, anything. You're beyond embarrassing. I'd hate to be the father or the mother of you people, you broken children. Some of you are twice my age almost. You don't even have enough shame or self-awareness to be fucking embarrassed. Holy cow, I'm pulling in Grace Thorpe numbers today, like the numbers matter. Grace Thorpe is a dumb hoe who's going nowhere in life. That just proves who and what you all are. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? You think you're insulting me by pointing out the way this realm is and always has been. The Christed being had 12 followers. They later started whole societies off of them. Did the numbers matter? Did it matter if a dumb hoe at that time had hundreds of more followers? No, it doesn't, because the truth is eternal. The vision is eternal. The value is invaluable. It's inviolable. Can't violate it or interfere with it. I just choose to take it somewhere else and use it a different way. Grace Thorpe, a clown.
Final says, my semi-senile dying grandma isn't enjoying the stream. Yeah, well, if you were tweaking on the ground and I resuscitate you back to life, you're not gonna enjoy that.
Semi-senile dying grandmother isn't enjoying you sitting around her, sucking off of her, using her, and projecting onto her. You're another loser failure who can't get their own fucking life and purpose. It's beyond embarrassing. Guys, fail to see the themes in your own lives and in creation. It only fucks you over. Then you bring it to my table like I'm not going to point it out every time. You know I'm going to point it out. That's why you bring it here. Subconsciously, you love getting whipped and beaten and enslaved. Then you turn around and say, I made a victim out of you. You love it. Look at the way you live. You have no self-care or self-respect. You have no get up and go. You have no ambition or motivation to do or be or create. Then when you bring your predictable nonsense here and I call it out, Paulie made a victim out of us. No, I tried to save you from yourself. That's my foolishness and error that I consistently engage in here. I should block and ban you all and just clear my space of loser failuredom once and for all and never go back. And only attract in successful, powerful, inspiring people or people who want to be that and do that and are really interested in accessing that. You ain't that. Just want to come here and jack off with everybody and pretend like we're at a party, non-party with a bunch of loser failures and giggle and laugh and scream like we're having a great time. Give me a fucking break. Your fucking lives together.
It's like
go ahead,
tithing,
sir.
you know how some folks, the religious folks, say the 10% of the income, salary, whatever word they want to use, to their religious, spiritual daddy. We should do 10% of the time of the broadcast is maximally put towards loser failures, right? So we still do the good work. We go down to the bus station for 10% of the broadcast, but then for the rest of that, it's like, all right, the motherfuckers that are like doing shit and inspired and motivated, we spend 90% of the time on that convoy, that part of the convoy at least.
Paul, you just had the big story go down on your channel. Could you elaborate, please? I'm not sure exactly what that means. Any idea what that means, Brian O'Shea or others? I just had the big story go down on your channel. What, me once again getting barely a couple hundred views while other folks get hundreds of thousands and sell a bunch of bullshit products for actually doing what they claim to be doing? Yeah, it's nothing new.
I think he's talking about this.
Rick used to keep razor blade in his boots. How did Trump's shoes get taken off? I just answered the question. Next year's news today. Okay. So basically you're saying there was a razor in the shoes or something, and that's why they were off? Because he had to get to it? I don't know. Where are we going with this? Trump had razor blades in his shoes like Ric Flair had in his boots. Discovered live here on Paul Unslaved. Did he get it cut before Secret Service arrived? Woo! Right. Nature boy. Oh man, what a place, huh? Yeah, Sean still can't let go. Another quality of loser failures. How do I know? Because I look into me. I've told you guys here how I've had to challenge myself to learn to let go in various ways in my life. Don't get triggered that I'm more compassionate and family oriented. You're not. You're a codependent, desperate person with no purpose and meaning and able to cope. You have no coping skills and you can't let go. Okay? So, I know that you, in your satanic, non-satanic way, think that life's all about keeping someone here. It's not. And it's selfishness. You don't want to let that grandmother go and die. She told you she wanted to die already, and you won't let her because you're a selfish, guilty prick. And it's all about you and how you're going to feel when she dies. You're not fooling anyone. You guys are all the same. All the same. If you really cared about yourself and her by proxy, you would do better for yourself and her by proxy. You don't. So that proves you don't care about yourself and you don't actually care about that woman. You care about how you're going to feel when her ass dies because you got little to no coping skills and you got little to no purpose and meaning and path of your own. And you're worried about some 80-year-old woman who wants to die and is ready to die, and you're going to stop living to keep her alive. You've never even started living completely yet. So stop projecting and pretending that you're an altruistic being. You folks are all the same. My father had the balls to just recently lay a guilt trip on me. Paulie, you didn't ask me about my diagnosis. You didn't ask me. You must not care. Dad, I'm urinating every 2 hours. Feels like my prostate has the same thing. You tell me it's genetic. I got lumps all over my back. I'm 35. Do you motherfuckers care? Ask me how I'm doing. You don't. And I don't need you to. Okay? There's the clue. Don't need you to because I've become self-reliant, self-sufficient. I've accepted my lot in life. I've accepted that death is part of life. I don't need you pathetic, embarrassing, guilty slaves feigning care and being pitiful to me, having pity on me and asking me how I'm doing. I must be doing fine because I'm still fucking yelling and screaming and I ain't stopped standing for rights and freedom yet. So I must be doing just dandy. Cut the bullshit. You motherfuckers haven't started to live yet. And you want me to call you at 70 and ask you how your body's doing. I know how your body's doing. Pitiful, weak, embarrassing, cowardly, suffering, and dead already. I already know how you're doing. Why would I call you up and bullshit you by asking? to get your distorted perspective and spin on how you're doing. I know, so I can appear loving and caring and empathetic. I did that already in my own way as a man by standing for something you wouldn't while you turned on me and rebuked me. Give me a fucking break. You fucking cowardly, emasculated slaves have no idea what it's like to be a real man or woman and how to live in truth and surrender the rest. You're too in your own feelers and wants and desires, and you're constantly guilt tripping on yourself and everyone else because you're toxic motherfuckers. And then you're the same ones who say I'm toxic when I won't sit up everyone's ass and pretend with them. I got shit to do here. I'm moving forward and moving on. You motherfuckers haven't started to live yet, and you ain't going to stop me out of guilt. I'm past it. I'm practicing detachment. I'm letting go. Your thoughts, Bryan, O'Shea, and Timmy? Because they all want to live in a romantic bubble of pretend and hallucination instead of living reality and life on life's terms and meet the challenges and the tests head on and go past their fears into faith. They want to project all that crap onto me. Sorry, go ahead, sir. I'm venting here today.
Well, Sean's got the Zoomer bubble, or I mean, it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter, right? But a lot of these folks exhibit the Sean bubble, the same bubble as the bubble boomers. Like, yo, Sean, you have never come up here and had a fucking direct conversation with any other man or woman and heard what they said and actually sat there and like authentically processed the information, thought about if it was true or not, and then like admitted fault or admitted like, I got to do better. Or like, I've never seen that from you. And that's common by most of the folks that are like that. You guys will never just like have a direct, authentic, honest conversation and then be like, yeah, I'm weak here. I'm great here. I got to do this better. What the fuck else? Why are you here?
Why is Jack Talcott also still giving life coaching advice from a chat? When will you get it through your head? Your wife, your child, Paul Unslaved, and anyone else with any kind of discernment didn't ask you for your shitty advice and doesn't want to deal with you or speak to you because you're delusional and you're unresolved. You're bizarre. Stop going around town forcing this narrative that you have advice to give and you're a life coach. You're not. You're a loser failure at life. There's no other way to see it. So just get a clue, go back on the drink and the drugs if you have to cope. Another guy with no coping skills can't live in reality with the rest of us because the baby can't cope. Baby Jackie boy can't cope with the fact that he's got to pay rent, with the fact that he's got to create value, with the fact he's got to serve his family and community instead of his selfish desires and wants and feelings and needs. We're not asking you for your advice. You failed at life, and worst off, you're too arrogant and ignorant to admit you failed at life. So why would we want the advice of a loser failure who can't even be aware of himself and what he's created for himself, which is a hell? You're in a living hell, and it's obvious looking at you every time you show up. You have no purpose, no meaning, no goals. You haven't attained or achieved anything. You can't even upkeep your own hygiene in your own home. You can't even keep your family attracted to you. Your own son doesn't want anything to do with you. You know how much of a fuck-up, loser, failure, abusive freak you'd have to be for a 20-year-old man to want nothing to do with his own father, and you have the balls to still blame him and the mother? You're a disgusting, selfish, narcissistic freak. And I want nothing to do with you until you get help and get treatment and are somewhat cured of your sickness. Do you get it now? It doesn't matter how much I love you like my father, how much I care for you, how patient and forgiving I am with you. You're both the same. Lying, cowardly, running, narcissistic freaks who have a way too high sense of self and opinion of yourself to pad the subconscious reality that you know, which is you're a cowardly loser failure. So cut the crap, drop the ego and the persona, recognize what every man, woman, and child has recognized in you and your life, and accept it and become and do and be better. There's no other way, loser failure, that you're going to feel better about yourself. It's not about me every day. It's about you. There's no way your son or a woman's going to deal with you ever again. Loser, failure, till you reconcile and become honest with yourself on some level and others. So stop bringing your crap here, user. Jack Talcott, the user who goes everywhere to try to get somebody to jumpstart his fame and fortune and career. You admitted it out in the open. Not only are you a loser failure, you're the worst kind. Because you won't be honest, we'll say it again with yourself and your grandiose sense of self, which you know is not real, because when you're called on it, you run in the opposite direction. That's proof. At some point, I made a decision. I'm not going to love and care for you anymore because you know you're lying. It'd be one thing if you were actually as insane as you seem to be. You're not. Because when I ask you a question directly and you become aware that I know that you know that I know that you know that you're bullshitting, you run every time. That proves deep down in the recesses of your beingness, you know you're full of shit. You know you can't answer. You know you can't be accountable, and you don't want to be. So you're going to run and spin and hope to come back to play the game another day. It's not working with me, and it's not working with little Domenico. Little Domenico, who I guess is half Italian all of a sudden. Little Dominic wants nothing to do with you because he sees the pattern of who and what you are, just like I do and others do here. Get a fucking clue. I'm desperately trying to get you out of your sickness and confusion, and you don't want it. You only come here to fucking use me in this audience. You're not here for the truth, scumbag. Well, then fuck off and don't come back till you are, if you're ever here for that. Long John Silver now. Let's see who that is. We got a few people in the back. We're going to have to address them. I'm ranting as always. Surrounded by loser, failure, cowards who are incompetent, incapable, and worse off, delusional. Willingly delusional. Be one thing if it was unwilling. I'd have more compassion for you and empathy. I'd have more patience and peace with you. You're disgusting. You make me sick. Doc Savage, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Sorry you had to hear and see that.
No,
very
listen,
unsightly of me.
Well, listen, man, I feel you, and I know what you're going through, man. I feel you. We go through it, on our broadcasts every fucking day, man. Nobody wants to stand up for anything, and everybody just wants somebody else to step in and fucking save them. I feel what you're saying. I'm with you, bro. As much as we try to educate these fools on whatever we're trying to educate them on to improve themselves, they don't want to listen because they're stuck in this sick consumer society or whatever it is. It's the public school system brainwashing. It's whatever, but the responsibility falls on our shoulders to change the situation that we're in and how we interact with our brothers and sisters. And sometimes you just have to go into the rabbit hole with them and yank them out by the fucking neck and slap them around and hold them over the coyotes for a second to let them get a taste of what real harshness really is, and then put them back where they're safe, man. But you can't coddle people. You're not wrong, man. You're absolutely fucking right. Look, I'm my own worst critic. I know I'm a piece of shit. I try to correct that every day. If I do something and then I feel bad about it, I'll pick up the phone and say something to somebody. Look, man, I'm sorry I was that way. That was a dick fucking move. And, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. You have to own what you do. And people that you're yelling at right now who richly fucking deserve it, I assume, because nobody gets as wound up as that without a good goddamn reason. They deserve it, man. They need to be corrected. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. And sometimes
ultimately it just comes down to, if it's not going to be corrected for your own good, then stay the fuck away from me.
Right, exactly.
I don't understand how many times do I have to ask people, and then they'll say, but then you come over to my area. That's my choice. If you don't want me there, you could throw me the fuck out and ban me too. I won't say that it's hypocrisy.
Yeah, right on,
the point is, I'm telling you at this broadcast, this house, you're not invited. Doesn't mean I can't come over to where you are. If you want to return the favor, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't need these people here to do what I do, especially the parasitic suckers and losers. They detract from what I do here. Yep. They can't figure out in their brain. It's like saying, this is my place of work. Don't show up outside my place of work. Don't come waddling in. If you want to come to the warehouse, you come to do fellowship and work and talk truth. Don't fucking come here if you're not prepared. And it has nothing to do with me stopping by your house later in the day. When I'm here to work. When I'm off the clock, I'll stop by your little hole where you're losing and failing and delusional. They're not the same. You don't work in your hole, Jack Talcott. You don't create anything. You don't have any value. Folks don't contribute and support to you. You think I'm going to insult my audience by giving you airtime here when they don't want to listen to you? You're a selfish, using, parasitic freak, and you don't understand boundaries and reasonability. There's false equivocation going on here. You guys want a false equality with everyone. You don't have a product or a service or value. You can't even get one person to let you life coach them. I got dozens of people who want me to work with them, and I have to turn them away because I can tell almost instantly they're not ready. You're begging for people to validate you. I'm invalidating them. We're not walking the same walk. You're making false equivalencies and equivocations, and I'm sick of your projections and rejections, ignorance and arrogance. Stop equating you guys' horrible broadcast, character, presentment, and lifestyle with what the fuck I am and do here, because they're not the same. Sick of this fucking weak-ass new age non-truth movement that bullshits everyone even worse than the old age. You're even worse than the old normal. Guys come on YouTube with nobody and nothing and claim to be life coaches and successes. You're fucking embarrassing. I'd rather go back to Tony Robbins and the guy who makes the juicer bullet. What's his name, Jimmy?
Rod Popeil.
Yeah,
Rod Popeil. Mr. Popeil.
Rod fucking Popeil and the guy who rides around Jack LaLanne. Let's go back in time to Hollywood to get someone with some accomplishment, some presentment, some inspiration and empowerment, some motherfucking results in some area. No, we don't have any of that anymore. The new normal is our idols and heroes and celebrities and people worth celebrating are all loser failures who can't make a living. Great.
Yeah,
great.
They do a job.
You're totally going somewhere in this culture and society, huh? You're fucking embarrassing. And then you'll say, this whole rant is just evidence that Polyboy is not peaceful and loving. Oh, I'm very peaceful and loving when I'm not surrounded by scum trash like you. I'm so peaceful and loving. You wouldn't believe it. I'm like Lenny. I stroke the rabbits. You know, I play with the children. I accidentally kill them from time to time because I don't know my own strength. I'm a little retarded. Right? But I love them. I'm very peaceful, very loving. It's only when you trash parasites show up that I have to put out the antidote and the antivirus to fucking destroy you and drive you away again. I don't want you in my life. This is my antibody antidote. It keeps everyone the fuck away from me who I don't respect, who don't respect me, who don't value how I'm living. And I damn sure don't value how they're living. I don't want to be anything like you trash scum. Don't you get it? When are you going to get it? It's embarrassing. I have to tell you slave scum every day to stay the fuck away from me because I don't value or respect you. And you keep showing up. That's even more perplexing. You have no self-care and self-respect. Old saying, don't fucking go where you're not wanted. And you do it every fucking day.
Yep, and they bring their trash with them. Yeah, we experience that too, man. Everybody does. But, you know, man, look, you have to edify your brothers and sisters by correcting them. You're doing the right thing. And even, look, like I said in the chat, sometimes love is abrasive. Sometimes it leaves marks on us. But once you recognize that it's love, you can respect it and take it for what it is and maybe use it somehow. Instead of just retaliating.
If you want to equate harsh and real truth with love, I could do that, but I'm sick of having to fucking inject love in every conversation so you bitch-ass motherfuckers can cope with reality. Go to therapy.
Yeah,
go do yoga.
Yeah,
go light some sage and talk to your mommy and daddy and find the love within you. I'm tired of having to equate peace and love with truth and reality and co-creation and cause and effect. Why do I have to inject a fucking emotion to talk about what is and what was and what will be? So sick of these people. Everything's an appeal to emotion. Bunch of romantic scum that can't walk a stoic path and achieve something or become something. They're too worried about how it feels It's the antithesis of success and empowerment. Does a motherfucker worry about how it feels when they go to the gym and push resistance? No. Doesn't even enter into their beingness. If it does, they push it right the fuck out because it'll take them down. You worry about your feelers, you'll never get to the gym and push the resistance and become stronger and more empowered. You'll be a bitch-ass motherfucker all your life. It's why they won't stand for rights and freedoms. They're too scared of how it's going to feel when they go to jail.
Yeah,
and you want to show up next to me and talk to me about being a man? Are you kidding me? You're not even fit to be my bitch. I've told you fucking males over and over. My bitch has more fucking heart and charisma and character and personality than you. I don't want yous around me. I'm bad and wrong because I don't want bitch-ass, weak-ass, unsuccessful males around me?
No, man, you're good because you're taking heat to their chin, bro. Some of these people need to be slapped around in order to learn something. That's my point. You know, you're showing them love in a tough way, tough love. It is a real thing, man. Sometimes you have to discipline people when you love them, and that's what you're doing. You're giving out discipline where it needs to be. You know, either you stand for
the word discipline comes from, like in that is disciple, right?
That's right. You have to be followed.
A disciple is one that follows you willingly, right? So sometimes you gotta you lead and you give love to the follower, but then also you have to correct them when he makes a fucking mistake. So if the follower is actually following you because there's some delta between the reason for why they're following you and him not following, you know, the reverse. Why is this a surprise?
You know, Peter, he denied Christ 3 times. He said, I'll never do that when Jesus told him that. And he just smiled and patted him on the shoulder and said, you will. And he did. And it changed him forever. It turned him into a leader. It turned him into something different because of what the fuck he did that was wrong. You guys are actually right on target, man. You know, these people that come around, they're coming around for a reason because there's value here. And if they can't see it and put it into use, that's a self-perception problem, man. They need to look in the fucking mirror and stand for something just with themselves. Stand for something with yourself in the mirror. Try that first.
But we can't be successful till we come together with a critical mass to do it for us individually. This is what all of them think. This is what they say. They need a group to find their power and inspiration, and they still can't figure out, like Slave Cot, if you need a group to find your power and inspiration, well, then when you don't, you're not. When you don't have the group, you're not that. That's dumb.
Yeah, you got to be it by yourself.
I can't give you any more caveman dumbed down language to do this dumb idea to think group equals your power, because when not, you aren't. See how dumb that is? If you can find your purpose and meaning and value, inspiration and faith with just you and nothing and nobody else, then you can bring it anywhere and everywhere with everyone.
That's right.
Wow. Shocking, huh?
Yep.
It doesn't take a group of loser failures to find strength. How's a group of loser failures who haven't done or been shit gonna find strength anyway? If you ain't got it individually, what makes you think you're gonna get it when you come together?
Yeah, loser times loser equals loser.
Right. It's exponential. If you get a bunch of loser failures together, it expounds the loser failuredom. It doesn't mitigate it. It just becomes overwhelmingly loser failuredom.
Yeah, you're failing on a larger scale, that's all. And that's not success, man. That's going backwards. That's retrograde thinking, man.
Yeah, the Lakers win because everyone on the team's not a loser failure who doesn't practice what the fuck their purpose is.
That's
right. They win. I'm just making it I'm making something up. I don't follow sports. But I'm giving it a very simple allegory that should be simple even for the most retarded chimpanzee to figure out. The reason the Lakers or anyone else wins championships is because it's a conglomeration of really good people. When you get a bunch of really good, strong, capable motherfuckers together, they win. If you get a bunch of loser failures together with one competent, capable person, you lose.
Yep, absolutely.
Your team is only as strong as the weakest link. So sometimes you're stronger alone than you are in a group of loser failures because they'll get you caught up. I'm
That's right.
stronger by myself than I am with Jack Talcott and other cowardly males next to me. They'll dime me out, rat me out, turn on me, steal from me, lie to me to get what they want.
Yeah. Tell the
So
cops who you
I
are.
would, by definition, be weaker if I brought you pathetic, cowardly slaves around me. I wouldn't get stronger.
No, you cannot strengthen weakness with weakness. It's just not possible. It's not possible. It's like if you're trying to fix a part on a car that's broken, you don't replace it with rust. You replace it with something brand new that works. That's going to succeed. Not with a failure. Yeah, you don't build shit out of rust, man. You don't build shit
What
out
do
of
they
rotten
call
wood.
that, sir? Even when you're working on the car's parts have been compromised in their integrity. Isn't that what they say?
Absolutely.
The car's axle has compromised integrity. Right. Why would I bring anyone with compromised integrity around me to compromise my integrity?
That's
Better
right.
off alone. What was that song the woman used to? Better off alone. I remember that one growing up in every supermarket. You all remember that one?
Yeah,
That song was for
I
me
think so.
and everyone else out there. Do you think you're better off alone? A lot of times, yes, I do.
Yep.
You know,
Because
could we be better with other people? Of course. But yeah, that's subjective, right? That's based on the qualification and the alignment and the resonation and the co-creation. If we're not on the same page and we're not in alignment and don't have the same values and principles, we can't commune. That's what a community is. It's a bunch of individuals together with shared values and principles who are willing to do the same things to get what it is they say they want or need. So I'm like arms wide open. We're going from one song to the next. We're going back to the 90s. Well, arms wide open. I'm arms wide open for motherfuckers who can get in alignment and resonation with truth and really walk it. If not, then I'm better off alone. I got to play the songs here for him, Timmy. Songs of slavery. Golden oldies and alternatives. Songs from yesterday and today about slavery and disempowerment so they can figure out what I'm talking about. Maybe if I give it to them in song form, they can figure it the fuck out.
Or give them a dose of Disturbed, Land of Confusion, or even Mike and the Mechanics version. That's about standing for something.
Well, you got all the magatards that always go, oh, corruption, they're corrupted, right? And it's like, yo, look in the mirror, like your code is corrupted. Like you've rebuked the God code. You're not following the God code. So now you look at some. That's you, and your code is corrupted. You got to start with you. Fix your code and stop looking at the code, the federalized U.S. code. Get your own fucking code, perhaps.
Yeah,
it's called the code of honor, and motherfuckers wouldn't know what that's like, and that's why they're not men. Let me go back to the docket. We spent enough time on these loser failures. That's exactly why they come here, so that I do an hour or 30 minutes ranting and raving about them, and then they get to feel like their daddy paid them some attention and talked about them. They got their little dopamine airtime fix for the day. Someone talked about them online in front of an audience. They've arrived. They're relevant. Let's go to the Graham Hustle. I got at least 2 of them, I believe. The dopamine detox hack for Jack Talcott and many others. You're going to have to get off your fucking phones at some point and actually live as men. I know that's scary and shocking. We're going to get there, though, at some point.
This is not an iPhone. This is a $10 billion weapon aimed at your brain. Aimed at your family. Aimed at your freedom. The people at Apple learned their craft from the gambling industry to hijack your attention and dopamine and keep you weak and isolated. It is the perfect manifestation of a centralized system that concentrates your weakness to get more and more power over you and the world, Suki. Control your phone. Don't let it control you. Limit your screen time to 1 hour per day. After you stop listening to me, put away all technology and get pen and paper and make plan for every day. 1 hour a day of reading time. 1 hour per day of focused uninterrupted time with your family. 1 hour per day for meditation and complete silence. Turn off all push notifications forever. Switch off internet on your phone. Only switch it on when you have scheduled your 1 hour screen time. Otherwise, leave it off. This way the Suki won't track you and hijack your mind, soul, and attention. Attention is the most valuable currency in the world. Control it, or they will control you. Be honorable.
Wow, that shit is gospel.
Right, and part of the problem is with a lot of these folks in the inverse world on here, attention has now become the currency of the valueless and folks lacking in principles. On some level, it used to be that your value system and your principles were where your value was found, right? Who you are and how you live. But for someone with no values and principles, now attention is the value and the currency in the modern day. So if someone's looking at them and listening to their bullshit and keeping them relevant and in some conversation somewhere, they start to think they have some value and some power and some voice. That's not how this works here. The most retarded people with no values and principles have all the attention in these realms. Doesn't that tell you something? So yeah, we're going to have to work out of that. We're going to have to actually become something and surrender the idea that attention is the currency and the value. The principles is what a man is judged by. The principles, how the man lives or woman lives, is where they derive their true value and power, not in how many jerk-offs are looking at them. Go ask Hawk Tuah. They love embarrassing you folks and mocking you. Hawk Tuah is our new American hero. Unslaved is a Sovsit terrorist, crazy weed smoker. Ban him, shut him up. Don't watch him. If you watch him, you're just like him. You're insane. Hawk Tuah, the hoe who spits on dick, is the American hero. They love mocking you slaves, and you take right to it like a duck to water. 3/4 of my friends list on Facebook is reposting some goofy bitch talking about spitting on dick and saying she's an American treasure and hero. Do you think they do the same thing with Paulie Boy and Brian O'Shea and Josh and others who are actually doing something different? Who are actually standing on something and sacrificing with consequence? No. And that's why they deserve Donnie. That's why they deserve the slavery. Call it bitterness and resentment if you want from me. I'll own the position. Don't give a fuck anymore how you want to characterize me. Oh, there's Paulie Boy's bitterness and resentment. Wouldn't you be a bit bitter and resentful? If all your friends and family and countrymen were sucking the feet of some dumb hoe who spits on cock, instead of actually a motherfucker who's living something and getting to something? Pathetic and embarrassing for you. Only increases my rarity. Only increases my value. So while you could say, and I can own on one hand that I'm a bit bitter and resentful, I have reason to be. And ultimately, I surrender that bitterness and resentment too. Because I recognize the walk in faith. I recognize the mirroring of the Christed being in consciousness. They'd have done the same thing with the Jezebel Babylonian harlot in that man's day. Said, she's our national treasure hero, the one who sucks dick. While the man who's actually putting his whole fucking life on the line to do what's true and what's right is cast the fuck out and rebuked. It's exactly where we need to be. That's how you know you're exactly where you need to be, when those themes and dynamics come up. And yeah, it'll frustrate you. It'll test your ego and challenge you. All the better, brings you right back to faith, especially when you're at a centric balancing point, right? When you're completely off this thing and away from here and you're centered and balanced, I go, I'm right where the fuck I need to be. No other way to see it, regardless of what my ego wants or desires or believes should happen. Right where the fuck I need to be. I could die today and know that I'm in some level of proper judgment of self and whatever that creational force is. That's worth all the weight in gold. When you could say on some level, I could fucking die today and I've done more and been more than the majority of these slaves who say they want and need something but won't live it. Great place to be. Got no regrets. Can't say the same for the majority of pathetic, weak-ass, cowardly slaves around me. My daddy's still living with regrets. What he didn't do, instead of focusing on what the fuck he needs to do now. Another slave living in the past, driving while looking in the rearview mirror. It's another problem motherfuckers have.
That's right. You're absolutely right, man. Regret should be power for you to achieve those things that you regret not achieving. Get with it. Do it. Do it. You know,
regret is your guideline. Yeah. When you have regrets about what you should have done, it's supposed to propel you to do more now. You're absolutely right, sir.
Regret is the fuel that drives creation as far as individual human beings go. Regret is the most huge motivator in my life to do better. Everybody has regrets. Everybody makes mistakes, but you got to use that shit as fuel. Don't use it as something that you go and look at and you cry and say, I wish I could have done something different. Do something different now, like Paul is saying. Stand for something. Be honorable. You have two choices whenever you do anything in life. You can be dishonorable or you can be honorable. It's not fucking confusing. It's not complicated. You can do the honorable thing or you can be a scumbag. And like you say, follow these empty-headed sock puppet celebrities who can't do anything else in life except get on a stage and act like someone else. They pretend to be someone else for money.
Yeah, they all want to come to me like Jack Talcott and don't think that we didn't hear them when they said, I'd say see through them, but they've come out and admitted it. You want fame, you want to be known for something, you want money, or at least an ability to care for yourself and buy the things you need, right? And you want some level, I guess respect would be the same thing. So you want the money, right? The validations and the verifications, you know, the numbers and the money, the empowerment, the inspiration. I could even meet you halfway, right? Let's not bullshit ourselves. I think every man, ego or not, wants to be known for something, wants to achieve something, wants to be able to care for himself and have whatever he needs and then some. My big fucking question for all you slaves is how you going to get it? How you going to get it? Because you could say I'm egotistical and narcissistic. I want money. I want women to think I'm inspirational and empowering. I want them to respect me. I want to respect myself. I want motherfuckers to know me for something. The question comes back to, for what? For being and doing what? For going past what? For not doing what? Because we all may want the same things, but we ain't all doing the same things or living the same life to get those things. And that's the difference. Right? You motherfuckers love attention and money and numbers and these bozos more than you love yourself and the truth. That's the fucking problem. I didn't start to get to anything in this life till I love the truth more than I love the money and the fame and the bozos and bitches. That's the reality. We're living life backwards at this point.
Yep.
So we can't be equally yoked till a motherfucker realize it's the opposite, like I've told you many times. First you get the power, right? First you get the respect. How does it go, Timmy? First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. No. First you get the self-respect that extends outward, then you get empowered, then you get the money and fame, bitch-ass motherfucker. And even that's a grind, unless you're cutting corners and working with scum. I'll tell you firsthand. And the other side of that is, how much do you really want the fame? Because more money, more problems. Diddy will tell you that. Right? More access, more temptations, which lead to more problems potentially if you're not in alignment and you're not watching yourself and being faithful and having some self-awareness. So you fucking Luciferian slaves like Jack Talcott don't think we don't see right through you and listen to you when you say, Anton's got more money and power and influence and network. I don't need you, Paulie boy. That's where you're wrong, because you gave up your self-respect to try to get it, and he didn't give you shit. So you revealed who and what you are. Now you got to go back to self and the drawing board and correct your inner space. You've told us many times, Jack Talcott and others, you want the money and the fame and the power so you can have power over other people and your family will come running back to you. You're delusional. You're not doing what you're doing for the right reasons, and you're not doing anything. So if you were doing something, it wouldn't be for the right reasons and intention, and that's why you fail. That's why God at times embraces me along with these people. That's why value comes through in various ways, because this thing and the people knows my heart, and it judges the heart. And if you have pure intentions and you believe what you're saying and you're attempting to do something true and what's right and sacrificing for the greater good, it's only a matter of time before shit shows up in different forms. You haven't gotten it yet, Because again, you want to do first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect, Chico. I'm not interested in living in and of the world like a Luciferian Babylonian scum. That's why we're not equally yoked. You're just like my daddy. Got no self-motherfucking respect and self-worth. I don't want to be yoked with motherfuckers like you. You demean me in this walk and this purpose by being around me and with me. It demeans what the fuck I do and devalues what I do. Let's continue on here. I want to run through the clips now. I'm done yelling and screaming and going off. Good luck trying to get through these motherfuckers, ignorant, arrogant, egotistical, narcissistic, freak-ass heads. Might take me another 2,000 years here in consciousness and awareness to get it the fuck done. It's already been 2,000 years, and they're no closer yet, many of them. ID refusal at checkpoint, cops left standing there, San Joaquin Valley, because you guess what, folks? Turns out when you have self-respect and self-worth and self-value, you don't do what another motherfucker here tells you to do, especially someone who don't have that by definition, in or out of uniform. Let's get to it.
Amen.
Hey, sir. License and registration, please. For what, sir? Because we're doing a checking detail, okay? Oh, I got that, but I got that, but what crime did I commit or traffic violation did I commit? Checking IDs. I get that, but that's a violation of my Fourth Amendment because it is because I have. I asked you for a driver's license. That's no, I'm not. Okay? Unless I committed a crime, about to commit a crime, and you suspect me of committing a crime. I haven't committed any traffic violations or anything.
When you guys subscribe to channels like mine, you know what to say when you encounter police. Not only do you know what to say, you also know that it's important to pull out your phones and start recording the interaction. If it's your word against theirs, who do you think they're going to believe in court? Not you, folks. It's best to record and document.
It's like an off-brand Seth Rogen. This guy.
It's just my supervisor. Okay. I get it, but it's a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
How you doing, sir?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to get you information off your tag, check your driver's license, and those things.
But I get that. But what traffic violation have I committed?
So the Supreme Court has ruled that we can get out here and do checking details on the roadway. It is a legal thing, and anybody that comes through has to possess a driver's license, has to possess a registration, has to possess insurance, and an inspection sticker.
If they've committed a crime.
No, we can stand out here and check anybody's information. The Supreme Court has ruled that it is legal.
So you can just randomly ask
We can
people,
randomly ask
but that's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
The Supreme Court has said it is not.
What Supreme Court case is that?
Do what?
What Supreme Court case is that?
It's not a Supreme Court case. The Supreme Court has just ruled on it and said that it is legal.
When was that ruled?
Huh?
What ruling? In order for the Supreme Court doesn't just come out and say, "Hey, we're going to make this ruling." It has to have been a Supreme Court case.
Right. We're so deep into the lying and bullshitting that you're going to sit there, some hayseed redneck dumbass, and try to tell us the Supreme Court sitting around making rules and laws for men and women of the people. Doesn't work that way. Even if they do make rules and supposed legislation, it doesn't govern men and women of the people. It governs United States citizens. Sick of this argument too. You fucking slaves won't comprehend this. I got to come on every fucking day and put it in Bryan and Chile and everybody's face till they stop saying we're dumb sopsits and go look at the motherfucking U.S. code and the definitions of words. All you scholarly bookworms, we're waiting. This ain't whistling Dixie. It ain't sopsit mumbo jumbo. This is the reality of the law of the land versus the corporate takeover and the corporate allegiance. It's fascism. It's not republicanism.
Yeah,
You're going to vote for another fascist republicard again and claim it's conservatism. You're not conserving the law of the land, rights, freedom, and principles. You're giving them a way to vote for a position in a corporation. Dumbasses.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you're barking up my tree, man. We teach supremacy clause, which is Article 6, right? Which clearly states that the states, the judicial, everybody, the executive, the legislative, all have to operate under the Constitution of the United States of America. And old dude in this stop was right. It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment, but it's a violation because there is no warrant. You have to have a reason, not reasonable articulation.
Here's going to be your problem. I accept what you're saying, but you're not taking into account the amendments in the Constitution you keep claiming where you get your rights. This is the problem. This is how they've got everyone. They have everyone citing a constitution that's supposed to protect God-given rights, and it now it makes a dualistic environment for natural rights, because in the later amendments, it says public safety clauses and the idea of public safety, right? And governance through code. So when you roll up and you've got the plates saying you're in commerce, whether you know it or not, and you've got all the identifiers, they're going to enforce code on you, regardless of what the first 4 or 5 or 10 amendments say in the Constitution, or what they read, rather. Doesn't say anything. It reads, you're not party to that contract. You didn't sign it. They are party to it because they swore to uphold it. They are upholding it when they uphold the later amendments because you want to identify as someone in commerce, whether you know it or not. So you guys got to get it right. They are following the Constitution. There's public safety clauses and 10th and 14th Amendments differentiating United States citizen from an American national. So when you call yourself a withholding agent, call yourself a U.S. citizen, get the commercial plates, sign up at the DMV, and roll up on them, they're not going to observe the first 10 amendments. They're going to observe the capacity you showed up in till you rebut that presumption or assumption or renegotiate on that contract. Ask DeCastro. Still crowing about the first sorry, Timmy, but I can't get over it. Crowing about the first 5 and 10 amendments when he showed up to court as allegiance to the corporation and the code, and then hired a bar attorney to speak for him. You don't get your natural rights at that point. Fuck faces. You're in contract at that point. You've relinquished your natural rights under God for citizenship to the United States, defined as a corporation 1A U.S. federal code. Stop quoting the Constitution when the Constitution is what's fucking you, and you don't even know how.
No, nobody's fucking forcing anybody into any of these fucking contracts. The first words out of that guy's mouth when the policy supervisor, I guess it was, said, "Hello, sir, how you doing?" And then the guy said, "Great, sir." He answered as sir. That's a military name, sir. And then he's like, "Which traffic violation did I do?" He's saying he's trafficking. He cares about what the fucking Supreme Court, some men in fucking dresses that he's never met, says about what he can or can't do. And he probably has the plates and a fucking license. It's very clear, guys. Isn't it clear?
They've made everyone trustees of the corporation, and that's why they presume that the Supreme Court, another corporate entity, makes policy for you, because you signed up to make that true. You voted for a president of the corporation to make that true. You paid tax to the U.S. corporation as a withholding agent. That's what it's called, a fellow trustee. That means in their world, the code applies to you.
in their fiction.
And they're just too damn scared to give notice to everyone that they were wrong all along, and they don't owe any allegiance to U.S. corporation. They owe allegiance to the land, the people, and God. That has nothing to do with United States incorporated in Washington, D.C.
Well,
20 to 30 years after the revolution. At that, whatever it was, 1789, whatever the fuck it was, the secondary date, the secondary. People don't even know there's multiple events that have happened here.
Yeah,
you guys got taken over by corporations again because you can't stay out of their fucking jurisdiction and you can't stop repeating shit you were taught by them.
Fair enough, man. Well, the United States.
I'm not trying to come down on you, sir. I'm passionate and caring about the information. I'm not trying to beat up on you or insult you.
No, it's all right. It's okay. I get it. We come from a supremacy clause stance. Okay, and if it's in the Constitution and it's unconstitutional, then it has to fucking go. I don't care who put it in there. If we have to have a constitutional convention by force of arms to move
again,
that
you
shit
keep
out
going
of the
unconstitutional. You ain't Thomas Jefferson, and we can't even verify if he's good or not or on the right side. We can't verify any of it. It's ungodly. Why do you go to unconstitutional instead of ungodly? Why is the Constitution the highest God on your land in your mind? Why is it not God itself mentioned in the Constitution? I don't give a fuck if you slaves do something unconstitutional. I give a fuck if you do something wrong and ungodly.
Something amoral, something dishonorable.
Correct.
Right.
As men, we don't need a motherfucking Constitution. The Constitution is right here. This is my Constitution. That's what they call it. The constituency, the Constitution. He's got a strong Constitution, that Paulie boy. Like a wild animal, right? I don't need a fucking written document by a bunch of quiffs and pantaloons who presented themselves as heroes while keeping slaves and doing experiments on people. Let's cut the fucking games. Most of these people are scum, always have been. They're tyrannical. They're grifters and frauds. And they want to play both sides and get benefits and privileges for themselves and fuck everyone else while claiming to be heroes. Sound familiar to Castro? Sound familiar, Talcott and the rest of them? I don't need quiffs and pantaloons and a constitution written by them to know God and know myself, know right from wrong, and motherfucking stand on it. If the Constitution applies to that, great. If it doesn't, I'll wipe my fucking ass with it. Sick of you Republicards and conservatives genuflecting to a document written by slave owners instead of a living fucking God that's supposed to be in your mind and heart. Just more proof that you're fucking godless because you prioritize a damn contract you ain't a party to over the living God that protects you. It's why you're in fucking judgment, quite frankly, far as I can tell. Stop me where I'm wrong here.
No, you're not wrong. You're making sense, dude. Look, I look at life as a continuing educational experience. So I'm not going to say that somebody's wrong when what they're saying makes sense. And what you're saying makes sense. Look, the United States as a corporation is an illegal, occupying foreign power. They are the fucking invaders, man. They invaded this country and they took over by stealth, or they made everybody believe in their bullshit statutes and codes. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. You're right.
I usually am, sir. It's what I do here.
Where do we start? All right, where do we start? Where do we get the tools to dismantle this fiction that these people have us living under?
This is not about dismantling anything outside of you. This is about building something from within.
Right.
It's precisely because you keep going outside of you that it never gets built and done. The building and the working and the remantling rather than dismantling has to happen from within. The reformation, right? The reconciliation, the resolution. It happens from within. If not, well, then you're going to revolution from without. That means complete circle once again.
Right. I have a...
So this is the point, is that we're all going to have to come under God and be men of faith. I'm not talking about some fucking man in the sky. I'm talking about an experience in conscience and connection to the universe. If we don't do that and prioritize that, we're going to get tricked out of our power and position.
It's already happened to an extent. That brings back to mind a thing that I say. These people that go out, these First Amendment auditors, they have no They have no comeback that makes any sense to these people that are, basically goose-stepping goons. They're marching off on a crusade that's unwinnable with no armor, no weapons, no water, no food, no horses. And they think that they're going to win the battle by taking weapons from the people that they're fighting against. It doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't work that way. And that's what you're saying, I think, right?
I can't simplify what I'm saying any more than stop fucking repeating and speaking shit about anything outside of you. You have a conscience. You have a heart. It gives you everything you need. The Constitution is not superior to that.
No, absolutely not, because we are self-determining.
Because I am that am, right? The same thing that Christ did being said in Scripture. I am that am. If you can say that, then you are the embodiment of, a reflection of the living God. Why the fuck would I demean or devalue my proper status and power and position for a lowly fucking document from 200 years ago, or even a damn Bible from 2,000 years ago? The story of God is in there, just like it's in me. If I got it in me, why would I go in there?
That's right. Well, what did Jesus say?
Because you're admitting you don't have it or don't believe you have it within you. That's the only reason I'm answering my own question, since you wouldn't answer it. It was rhetorical, but I'll answer it. When you show up to court or you show up anywhere else in life and you genuflect and defer to something outside of you, you confirm that you believe you are powerless from within. You confirm that you believe self-knowledge and self-connection to God and the universe and the truth is inadequate. And that's how they judge you, enslave you, because you just confirmed it. They say, tell us more about the Constitution, scholar boy. And they already made the determination like I did. He's of his father, the devil. Because if he was a godly man of faith, he would invoke God and the universal law and his conviction from within. He doesn't, so he either doesn't have it or he's not aware of it. Needs to be governed. Go ask De Castro, who will not concede to this spiritual dynamic. He doesn't need to. He's going to get more slavery and judgment. He's going to squander more money that he got without having to do and be what he was meant to do. He'll get everything he needs here, just like they all will. De Castro, you're going to call me back, bud? You going to call me back, bud? Or do you need more Charlie time? As he put on his community page, you motherfuckers are weak and you're godless and you're cowardly and you're fake. And when you show up to court, they see the same fucking thing that I do. I've gotten to the point in doing this, even though they just put me in jail again the other day for 3 days, I respect and resonate more with agents at this point than I do my own fellow man. Do you know what that's like? That's a hell of a trip. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain. When I go to court, the administrator has some discernment. He or she knows what it is. They can look at you and make the judgment. You slaves can't even judge your own selves or anyone else properly. You got so little discernment and self-awareness. They have it at court. They know who's riding with God. They know who has the conviction. They know who has the self-knowledge. They can see it and feel it within themselves and within the other. The average citizen slave next to me is like fucking blind. Can't hear, can't see, can't talk, can't feel properly. It's really sick when you get to the point where you have more fucking respect and resonation with the average magistrate, for discernment at least, than you do your own friends and family and your average countryman, because they don't have any of it. And on top of it, they'll fucking gaslight someone like me that I don't have any of it. That's the difference of why some of us have different responses and reactions or resolutions or outcomes at court than others. Because we see us for who and what we are. We know what we're there doing. They say, oh, we're over here, Paulie Boy's over there. He's really feeling it and doing it and being it. Put him to the side. He's not one of them, at least for a time. They have to give me safe passage because they know that I'm true to self and that higher calling. Sauron has to give Frodo safe passage with the Ring of Power. He don't ever want to put it on. I only put it on when necessary. That shows I'm pure in heart. The rest of you scum slaves are chasing motherfuckers for that Ring of Power, and you put it on every 3 seconds to get whatever you want. That's not what it's about. Because as soon as you put that Ring of Power on, you start to lose yourself a little bit. You start to forget, oh, there's other forces at play here. There's other dynamics at play here, right? So only the wise being understands how to use power, presuming they even have it to begin with. The majority of slaves have no power, but they're chasing to want to put on the ring and misuse it. It's all right there. They give you these fucking 4-hour-long movies to show you who and what you are, and you can't even fucking see it. Jefferson is here now. How are you, Jefferson? You're feeding back, man. Can't hear you somehow. This is incredible. I can't hear you.
Take it off speaker, dude.
You're completely silent, and my voice is feeding back. If you go back and watch and listen, you'll see what's going on there.
Yeah, he's got his speaker on or something. He's probably listening through the car.
And he's still yelling from the back stage or whatever. He's acting out or whatever. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about, Paul. I appreciate it, man. You know, I'm an older guy. I'm always looking to learn something new, man, you know, and I'm always trying to self-improve.
Are you ex-military?
I spent 4 years, yeah. I
could tell. And I'm not saying that from a negative perspective this time. So hold your horses, everybody. I was getting the vibe that you are, at least at one point, a highly disciplined person who has some grounding, and the military can do that for you. I'm not going to completely throw the baby out with the bathwater, but something about your energy and tone and the way you present led me to believe that you were ex-military, because you seem to have the ability to stand before someone like myself who's screaming and yelling like a drill sergeant and somehow extract some information to use for yourself to become better.
Oh, no, I'm hanging on your every word, dude, because I want to learn, you know, but, you know, yeah, military is part of that, and then I spent some time doing speed sports when I was younger, you know, after I got out of the military. And when you're dealing with life and death in the activity that you're doing, if you don't have discipline, guess what you are? You're a corpse under a blanket on the other side of the guardrail. That's what you are. You're dead.
Pretty much.
And if you don't have discipline in life, guess what? You're dead, because you're going to let somebody get inside your circle that's going to make you wind up in 17 different dumpsters. That's just how it works. They see somebody that's undisciplined, and what do they see, Paulie? If they see you and they know you're undisciplined, what do they see?
Victim.
They see a mark. They see a victim. They see somebody that they can use up, man. This is why I have maybe 10 real friends in this entire world outside of my family, because you can't trust, like you say, you can't trust motherfuckers.
Yeah, you go to war with people in the military, your own supposed brothers, and then realize that they're completely mind and heart controlled, and they'd sell you out to the system in 3 seconds to keep their position in it as a slave.
Well, I was lucky enough to be at war with people that were reliable and disciplined and had some honor and had something that they stood for. And when the crunch came and we were in that fucking situation and there was trauma and there were dead bodies and body parts laying around, guess who got busy? Everybody that was still breathing, picking up the pieces and moving on. Nobody ran away. There's no place to run. Not where I was. No place to run. But we held each other up, and we patched up what we could, and we cleaned up the fucking mess, and we did what we had to do. It's the same thing with anything. If you're doing sports, it's life, man. In life, if you're not disciplined, you're going to get torn to shreds by somebody.
Right, but obviously the other side of things where, and I'm sure you can concede to lacking it, is you can't have discipline without discernment, right?
Absolutely.
Because discipline without discernment, as we see from our parents, is abuse and dysfunction and violation.
It can be.
Right?
It can be. But, you know, everything in life has a right way and a wrong way to do it. And discernment is when you think, well, I'm going to start a garden. Okay, discernment is when you sit down and you write down what kind of vegetables you want to grow, how you want to grow it. How you gonna work that land? How you gonna make it happen? And then you use discipline to follow it through until you take in a harvest and you reap your treasure from the ground that God helped you create with your hands. That is accomplishment. That is doing something. If you can just grow a fucking garden, people, and make it produce, then guess what? You got discipline. You have principles. You have discernment.
I just want to get something from you, because I want to know where you stand. Obviously, if you've been to war and been part of that theater for lack of a better term, because that's what it is, regardless of the real world consequences and the horrors. It's all political theater. We can concede to that, right? That you guys were deceived and manipulated, and you had to be part of things that you probably had no business ever having to be a part of. I mean, we're not going to live in regret, but it's like we understand now we shouldn't have been there and been a part of that because we were deceived, focusing on discipline without discernment. Would you agree to that, or am I missing something?
No, I agree, man. And that was the reason that I didn't re-up, man, because I had a lot of time. I had 18 months after I was wounded, along with, most of the guys that were in my outfit. I don't want to give any details, man, but, I had 18 months to sit around and think about what the fuck exactly was it we were doing. We were killing dudes that were basically conscripts and shoved into uniforms with these shitty Chinese rifles, and we killed them all. We killed them all because they did certain things, and it pissed us off. That the highway of death, was a consequence of exactly what happened to me and my fellows that tried to land on that fucking beach in Kuwait City, man, because they opened up on us, man. And it was,
I can't even imagine. It's like a fucking nightmare, dude. I can't even imagine you guys, again, it's like to be able to do that is almost something that's a necessity that most people never broach. They never look at it. The ability to kill or be killed for something if necessary. But to be pushed up on that shore all the way over there with them people who they're never gonna stop. Right? They're always going to continue because they have a religious belief system or religious connection, right? To core values and principles. I can't even imagine being part of that fucking hell.
Well, I spent a lot of time thinking about that. I won't go into specifics, but I got sent to a duty station that was really cush, man. It was basically, I was a political attaché. And I had plenty of time, leisure time. I didn't have to report to anyone. All I had to do was show up at the purser's office and get my check once a month. That was it. I didn't have to do nothing else, man. And all I had to do was be a tourist and think about what I had just went through, man. And, they lied back then for Gulf War I, just like they did for Gulf War II, man. They lie, and we're grateful that we get to go and kill people that have done nothing to us. Nothing to us. And one of the biggest regrets in my life is signing those papers and signing away my life.
Can you honestly say that you had no point, and I want you to really dig deep on this. Can you honestly say that there was never a point up until a certain point where you doubted what was going on, that you were just completely, unknowing, like just sort of not even ignorant, but like naive, gullible, kind of mind and heart controlled? It didn't even occur to you that what you were doing or what you were part of was corrupt or dysfunctional or anything like that? I'm just trying to get a read on how that average experience unfolds, right? Like, is there a voice in you that kind of goes, hey, you don't want to do this, or maybe look twice, or this ain't right? It's like, or does that only kind of activate after a certain point, if that makes sense?
Well, at first, there's this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then they push the button and they go condition red, and then you got to fight. But before that, yes, absolutely. I had doubts and I had questions. There were things that happened in the world that were absolute motherfucking atrocities. And who went and corrected it? Who should have went and corrected it? We should have went there and corrected it. But instead, we wasted our time on this kitty litter box that had nothing to do with us, man. So yeah, I was still hooked into world events, even when I was in the military, man. And I see these things happening all over the place that are just, they're crimes against humanity. And who shows up? Not us. We're going over to fight for oil. We're going to fight because we want to steal this oil or gold or whatever it was we stole from the Iraqis. Whatever reason we fought them. It was all bullshit. When the real fight that we should have been fighting was somewhere else to protect people from insane governments. But
how about right here, sir? How about right here on the side of the road where everyone swore to protect their own people and land from enemies, foreign and domestic?
Well,
I'm not gonna propose military go to war on anybody. I'm just saying, if we got priorities here, we got some stuff a little bit closer to home to deal with and handle, if you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely, man. And I could not agree with you more. These dudes these dudes with costumes and badges and guns on the side of the road are traitors. They are enemy combatants. We are at war with those people.
Yeah, they're elements of a foreign corporation, whether they know it or not, here to overthrow the de facto or the default government, as it were, as it should be, whether it is now or not, as it were, the government of and by and for the people, right? They're using corporations, policy and code, and centralized banking to overthrow the common law and universal law and nationalism, right? This is why nationalism has become such a dirty word. The idea of a nation that retains its own sovereignty because all the men and women who are part of the nation retain their own sovereignty. Once that goes, right, that's why they want to say Poly Boys are right-wing. It's funny because if you ask Vice, right, the Republicans hate me who vote for Trump. But if you ask Vice, they say Poly Boys are right-wing, white nationalist, Sov-sit terrorists. Because I'm the real deal. What we do is the real deal. Trump's a moderate. He's a middle ground Politico from Manhattan.
No, he's
not an actual conservative Republican man of the people.
Nah,
he's a dupe.
Trump is the most liberal president that's ever been. Look at the money he spent, man. Anyway, you're correct, man. You're correct. We are these people that call themselves law enforcement are nothing more than mercenaries for this.
No. Let's be clear. They're policy enforcement. I'm law enforcement. I've had to use the force of creation to uphold the law at the resistance of all the people in uniform and out, all my fellow men and women, countrymen and women, and citizen slaves. Right? So we, the people, are the government. We are the law enforcement with the force of God and creation. These folks are enforcing policy on men and women of the people under God's law. That's the overthrow. That's the corporate corruption and the fascism.
And they did it
and it's so deep right now that I can't even imagine how we're going to get out, or if it's even possible as a whole to get out. The average slave thinks that policy, statute, and code is law, and they're not going to change the way they view it. The mind control is all but complete at this point. Go ahead, Tim. I want to get back to this clip too with the just to finish it.
I feel like folks like Doc and Damsel Medic have that unique experience where they went to war and may be able to get through to some of these law enforcement if they've got their humanity left in them. That could be something interesting.
Well, this is why these folks at some point, I'm going to, I have trust issues, as you know, and you could argue for good reason. And one of my, understandings is I have to practice faith and letting go the same way I talk about everyone else. I have to apply that to myself. So at some point here, I could argue that ex-military are going to be some of the folks that I resonate with the most, because they're really not interested in feelers over facts. A lot of them, right? Again, I don't want to generalize too much because you have like the duality here, but you can see with this man that he has an ability to listen to me, regardless of who I am. Listen to me and what I'm saying and extract the data and the information and update his perspective if necessary and put his feelers aside, right? So that's a huge quality that we all can benefit from in life or on land as a community. So more and more as time goes on, I'm going to be looking to bring these folks, if they're interested, into my life more, whether it's co-hosting here and talking to other people, networking, or on the ground on the land, because they have skills and abilities. If they're able-bodied and able to care for themselves, and they're able to update their understanding, and they're disciplined beings willing to kill or die if necessary for what's true and what's right, well, I can use you because God can use you, right? This is the prerequisite. God can't use you unless you have these certain things, it would seem to me. The devil can't even really use you other than to be a distraction or a disempowerment campaign, right? Blow you up and get everyone to look at you.
If you follow truth, way, and life, and you're a human being that stands for something, you're not usable by Satan. He's not. You're not, because
what we want to do is, as activists, non-activists, right? I don't entitle myself anything, but other people will call me that. Right? Because I'm actually active at times and doing something different. So we're going to need these people to put like me and a whole bunch of ex-military in cells, even if it's for 3 days at a time, so that we can show, hey, these folks served their supposed country. Like you all like to say, thank you for your service. I went into the herb store yesterday. Some putz came walking up behind me. some old ass man who 30 years ago never would have been in that herb shop because he'd had too much pride and ego killing people as a military slave. Now that he's ready to die, he's ready to consider faith and the supernatural. So he's in there buying something or other, and he had the balls to ask this woman, do you do veteran discount? Right after I just asked the woman, if I spend like a couple $100 here, are you going to look out for me? And she goes, no, because I go, you know what? Stop right there. You guys got to make a living. I shouldn't have asked because I'm a cheap motherfucker. What's a couple $100 to get my fucking health together, right? It was a me issue. I saw it right in the moment, like I always do, right? So as I'm doing this, 5 minutes later goes by, this jerk off walks up and goes, you got military discount? She goes, yep. Thank you for your service. I fucking went off on everybody. I can't handle it. I went off on everybody in the herb store. I said, you should charge this piece of garbage more. You want to give him discounts? I go, I'm doing service. I'm serving the country and God and the people. And I asked you for a couple bucks off. I'm a cheap fuck. I should just pay it. I told her just like that. It was my mistake. I shouldn't ask you for nothing. You guys have to make a living here. You got a whole store. Of course you got to charge me extra. Whatever. It is what it is. I should be thankful and grateful I have the opportunity to heal myself. And you're going to tell this prick, you're going to give him 20% off and thank him for his service? He should pay more. If I ever go into business, you policy enforcement and servants are going to pay more for what you've done. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be the only one in town. They're going to all hate me. You're going to pay 15 to 20% more for forcing slavery and code and abomination on everybody. You're not getting less. You got to pay more for what the fuck you've done and not done.
Yep. Treason tax, man. Tax for
And she agreed with me. The worst part is she fucking agreed with me. And the guy walked out, right? Because I didn't want to go off in front of him. I wait for him to walk out because I knew we were going to get into it. I didn't want to get into it. Jennifer's there. He walked out and I said to the two ladies, I said, you should charge them more for what the fuck they do and don't do, for what they've created here. She goes, you're right. I go, it's fucking hypocrisy. I go, you don't know who I am and what I do, and let's keep it that way. But if you did, you'd understand where I'm coming from. This jerk off walks in here with stolen valor and false glory, flashes a badge or a goofy hat, and you want to give him 20% off for his slave service. You should have gave me the 20% off if you know who and what I am, which you don't, and you don't need to. And you should charge him the extra 20% to make up for it. Because he's a slave genocide status following scum who is the undoing of everything good and great here. How dare you come in and ask for a discount for your genocide and slavery? And how dare you thank him for his non-service? You guys don't think that that's spelling and sorcery? You don't think there's karma behind that? You don't think you're generating an outcome for yourself and each other playing that game? Because I do. Maybe that's my woo-woo, right? I've become a little bit too godly and superstitious, many will probably tell you in my life, because I just believe there's consequences to every motherfucking thing.
Yeah, that's
there
not
and disrespect the living God and the law of this land and a man of the people, thanking that slave. I want to vomit. I told her, get an extra herb in that bag for vomiting, because I think I'm going to vomit when I leave here. What the fuck I just saw and heard and felt. Make me sick.
Oh, that's funny, man.
She'll be thanking them for their service when they're hauling her kids off to a fucking FEMA camp to keep national security. National security. This is a woman who just in the same town watched them light fires, some might say, and then bring in the military and FEMA and the feds to lock everybody down and treat everybody like they're in a police state and ask everybody questions, telling them they can't go back to their own homes because there was a fire down the road and across the street. Yeah. And you want to thank them for their service, criminalizing everybody for safety, keeping everybody from their homes and their property for safety. I was, again, the only one on those roads. You should have seen it. I recorded some of it. I don't know if I'm going to release it because it's nothingness. Just me driving on an empty road and narrating. I'm the only one on the road, as one's military trucks up and down, Fed trucks, state police, everyone up and down. I'm the only one in the whole town on the road. Because every other punk-ass coward slave turned around when they told them this far and no further. And you wonder why we're in the situation we're in. And then when it comes time to tell them off and who and what they are, you thank them for their service. Because all they got to do is light a couple fires to put you in fear and lock you all down like a slave. They did it with COVID. They're going to do it with fire and water and biologicals again. You fucking slaves make me sick. They at least have to have the balls to get out there in a uniform and tell everyone what to do. I respect my captors more than I respect my fellow captivees, whatever the fucking word is. My fellow men and women who are captivated. They've been captured. I respect the slave police more because at least they have to get out there and have some balls or something, some get up and go to tell everyone what to do and lock it down. You slaves just turn right around and go off and spend another $1,000 living at some motel somewhere because they told you can't come back till they let you. As if it wasn't all just to extract a whole bunch of money for the governors and everyone else to buy another fucking house. Every one of these governors, these states, have 2 and 3 houses, but they supposedly make $100,000 a year. Yeah, because they're getting kickbacks from state and local and Fed and FEMA and military doing national disasters or statewide disasters, declaring emergency, and then sucking up all the taxpayer funding to keep everyone safe. When are you guys going to stop getting pimped and hoed on is my question. And the answer is never. Let's be real about it.
Well, we could, put it another way, man. If you comply and you do what they say, you're a collaborator. You're a traitor. You're an enemy combatant as far as I'm concerned. Get the fuck out of my country if you're going to wear a mask. If you're not going to go to the store because they said you can't. If you're not going to go to work because they said you got to stay home or there's a fire.
You're going to give up your rights and property because there's a fire burning somewhere.
Yeah, if you're going to give up your rights and you're going to comply, guess what? There's a cage waiting for you. Go ahead and get in it and get the fuck out of my country. Get the fuck out of my country because that's where you belong. No, man, seriously, I've been raving this for years, man. Regardless of what my current pursuit is as far as trying to, deal with this system that we're all stuck in. We're stuck in it because people stay home and they comply and they duct tape their... Remember when they said that you should duct tape your house from the inside? Guess what's going to happen to you if you do that? You're going to fucking suffocate. And people actually thought that was a fucking good idea, Paulie. I think
it's a great idea. If you suffocate yourself, you'll be safe in the afterlife.
That's
I got
right.
to screen Godfrey. It's like I've always said, man, the safest place you could be is in a straitjacket and padded cell. So when they put you there, just understand it is technically the safest place you could be. You can't hurt yourself or anyone else, and you can't be hurt.
Yeah, if you can't stand for something, then you need to get your ass in a cage or in a padded cell or duct tape your house and suffocate because that's what you deserve. That's what you deserve. If you can't stand for something, you stand for nothing. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as Paul's concerned, and I can feel it from everybody else that's here, you're fucking useless as a human being. And you're definitely not a fucking American because Americans do not follow orders. We bitch and we complain and we buck the system. That's what a real American does.
Godfrey Giannakopoulos. Are you there, sir?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Isn't that Jefferson?
Yeah, that's this is like my name if it was not Americanized. Hey,
okay.
Just want to say yesterday, dude, you got me so pissed off. If we were in the same room, I would have had to bury you.
I know.
You scrawny, bro. You're weak, bro. But Paul,
my
me?
Yeah, he's coming at you now.
Bitch ass coward.
I just read your comment. What's your problem?
Nah, bro.
I just read it.
You better be careful.
I just read your
little fucking scrawny little.
I just read your fucking comment. What's your problem?
Shut the fuck up, bro. You ain't standing on nothing, bro.
Paul, no, are we really going to come in here and start talking shit? Fuck that.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, what do you mean? I'm not standing on nothing. Explain. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jefferson.
Bro, you just parrot fucking Paul shit. You little fucking dick rider bitch.
I don't parrot nothing. I fucking live how I live. What the fuck? What's the problem?
Shut the
fuck up. Is not honorable.
Get loud with me in real life. I'll pick your ass up by your scrawny little neck. You little.
What do I parrot that I don't do, sir?
Bro, I'll fucking dude. You don't want beef with me, you little bitch ass motherfucker. You're a bitch.
I'm not beefing with you. We're just talking on a panel.
You better fucking be careful.
I don't know why are you so triggered, sir? Why
triggered?
You so
You're an ugly ass goat. You can't talk to me like that in real life. I'll break you. You fuck. I'll break you.
Never even
Look
get
at your
near
face.
me.
Look at your face.
You never even get
pussy.
near me.
You're a pussy. Yeah, you know that, huh? That's why you talk like that. You little fucking coward.
Like what?
Like how you did yesterday, you
How
bitch.
am I a coward?
This is my
Bro,
safe
if you
space.
talk to me like
Please respect it.
I'll toss you like a little fucking slut bitch. You fuck.
You would never go near me.
Yeah? Cool.
Man, you need to swallow that mayonnaise that's in your mouth. It ain't coming out.
You little fucking ugly goat bitch. You ain't shit. Don't even talk on this fucking panel, bro. Nobody wants to hear you.
How about this? I can just
He
throw
is
you out.
constantly in his feelers. You don't hear him?
How about that? How about you can't talk here for a minute? You don't like that, do you? Do you have a mission here, Jefferson, that is like maybe conducive to freedom and not conducive to slavery more? What do you think about that? Forget the personal stuff. How about forget the? You were like you were gung ho about freedom or all that stuff.
Kick me off right now again, you bitch. Kick me off.
I just did.
Thank you. Yeah, bro. In real life, I can see you shaking in the courtroom. You pussy fuck. I can't see
courtroom.
Wow.
At what court? At what courtroom?
Shaky ass fucking rat. Look at you, bro. Look at yourself.
At what courtroom?
Little pencil neck rat.
At what courtroom?
I don't little fuck.
Super aggressive. Being super aggressive.
At what court? What court would I be at?
Paul stands on business. You don't. You're a bitch.
What business? What are we talking about?
All business. You ain't about nothing. I can see it in your fucking countenance, you pussy fuck.
I don't think you know a thing about a business. What business do you run? What business do you do?
Oh, sorry, Jew boy with your family ties. Shut the
I'm
fuck
not
up.
Jewish. It's
Whatever.
a bit, you dumb
Whatever
fuck.
the fuck you are, I don't care. I thought you said you were Jewish like last week, but whatever.
He's
I
Italian.
never said that.
Ass bitch anyway.
Yeah, he's Italian. Italian's basically a Jew that doesn't read, so same thing.
You are ugly as fuck.
What's your issue, man? What's your specific issue?
My
How about
issue is
not speaking
you.
out?
You are a dick rider. You bitch. I don't
How
like
am I
you.
a dick rider? I'm sitting here
from
talking
the
at
day
a panel
one,
sometimes.
From day one, you talk shit on me. You're a bitch, bro. Shut up.
What did I say on day one?
You're a
What
woman, bro.
When
You're
did I
a
say shit
feminine
to
ass
you?
bitch. I'm pissed off. 'cause
I'm
you know in
feminine
real life,
or I'm
I
just
would fuck
caring?
you up.
I might just
You know
be
in real
caring.
life,
Now I'm gonna throw you out because you keep talking over me. If you want to do this, I have a co-host here. If you suck Paul's dick so much, then why don't you suck the guy that he gave keys to? You know, there's like a little delegation thing.
Yeah,
happening.
you got to suck us both a little bit, right? That's kind of what it's turned into.
Suck 90% of his dick, and then you wash your mouth out, and then you can suck my dick.
So you're basically
You just
standing
saying
on
that
that
they're
you're
in
a
a
dick
panel.
rider.
Curtis.
You're standing on that you're a dick rider. You're secondary in
Okay,
command.
I'm a dick rider because Paul on some level respects what I have to say, and he believes on some level I live.
I want. I'll pimp slap you in the fucking face.
You ain't gonna do shit. You won't do that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Fly him out to the
not gonna
Philippines, Timmy. Fly him out. Fly him to the Philippines and see if he'll pimp slap you for content.
How am I what is this thing with you guys calling me feminine? What is that? Because I'm usually in a serene, because I'm usually in a serene space and I'm not like triggered and acting tough like you. This is masculine. What you're doing? This is masculinity. What you're doing right now?
With masculine with me, I'm telling you, you're a feminine bitch. I have no idea how you even have a wife. It's ridiculous. Just shut the fuck up.
How am I?
You have no knowledge of care to Paul. So
How am I feminine, sir?
You think you're special. You have no knowledge of care to Paul. Shut the fuck up, bro. Like let Paul run.
I'm not comparing anything. Why are you comparing?
Dude, you're not that smart. You think you are. You're not that smart, dude. You're not.
Okay, let's do it. Let's pick an arena, sir. Okay, which arena would you like to talk about? Tell me how much smarter you are than I. Which arena would you like to speak about? Go ahead.
Yeah, if he's stupid, prove it.
Pick an arena, sir.
Nah, bro. I don't need to do shit. I wanted to come here and talk.
Nah, because you're a fucking baby. You can't even do this. You just said that I'm dumb. Okay, so prove it. Pick a topic.
Yay! Low life. Right? Dumb, retarded, low life.
Go ahead, pick the topic, sir.
I don't want to waste my energy on that because I already know you're
here.
Coward.
You just brought it up. So go ahead. You want to talk
what
about
should we get
law?
into, Timmy? You want to have
It's up to you. I offered you.
You're
No,
a fucking
you want to
faggot.
talk
Who
about?
even says that? Okay, prove it. I'm a nerd.
You
prove
said it.
Fuck you, faggot. I'll beat the fuck out of you in a fight, and you know it, and you're mad about it. Your bitch wants to suck my
He is
dick.
constantly in his feelers. You don't hear him? He gets going on his fucking rants. It's this feminine bitch energy coming out of him. Strong.
Now,
You
Jefferson,
know real life,
even
bro.
if,
Hey, you know in real life.
even if you did, you're muted. Even if you did that, even if you ambushed me and then you beat me up, what next? You're still a slave that can't control your emotions, and I'm not. What's up with
It has
that?
nothing to do with that. I wanted to unleash, and I wanted to get up on you and tell you how I feel about you, you fucking faggot. I don't care.
And then what? And then what?
And then
You
what?
continue
I wanted to do that because I had the freedom to. You fuck boy. I had the freedom to do that. That's why I did it.
You can try.
Scumbag, demented, defective fucking mental apes. That's what you guys are in the freedom movement. You're morons. Everywhere, you're morons.
What do you want to have a spelling?
Yeah,
bee
Jefferson.
to prove your part?
Yeah,
You wanna have a
Jefferson.
spelling bee right now?
Shut the fuck up for 1 second, Jefferson. Jefferson tried to get in a gang. They kicked him out because he's a bitch. He's still in his feelings. He wants to act like a bubble
Look,
gangster.
the gang's
You
jumping in
ain't
now.
shit,
You all
little
like to
bitch.
gang rape people, you
Stop
fucking faggots.
fucking
Cool.
getting
Oh,
on the
you're so
broadcast
tough and smart
and
now.
threatening
Oh,
people
look
with
at
your
you guys.
shirt off. You
Look
probably
at you
weigh
guys. All
120
talking shit on
pounds.
me. Bro, I'd fuck all you up in real life, so fuck you. You ain't shit.
You
But
okay?
Jefferson,
You want to bet your motherfucking life on
I
that,
will
my
give you
son?
my address.
Yeah, I
Just
do want to
come
bet my
by.
life on that. Come see me, bitch. I'm in Penn Valley right now. Fuck you, pussy. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so what
You
drugs?
get to receive what you receive. I know what I'm offering.
Hey, you want to talk shit, Army boy? How many people you kill? You piece of shit.
I ain't your boy because you acting like you acting like a gangster because you're not.
Gangster,
What
bro.
drugs
I
are you
put
on?
many people in comas. You fuck boy. I will break
Okay,
your
so
ass. Fuck you. And I put
put me
Marines
in a
in
coma,
comas.
bitch.
I put
Please
Marines
do,
in
you
comas.
little
You
whiny
fuck boy.
little bitch. Hold on, little
Bro,
bitch like Jack
can we set up a cage fight with all you fucking
into my
faggots? Can we
feelers.
set up a cage fight with all you fucking faggots, please? I'm sick of you acting like you're sick.
Coming at
Someone, I'm here in Nevada.
Dude,
You
what's
suck.
wrong with you? Are you mentally okay?
Bro,
Are you mentally
if you were in
okay? Are
front
you
of me,
on
I would
drugs?
fuck
Let's
your
go through
ass
that.
up. No, I'm sober.
Yeah,
You're just a
you
fucking
can't
faggot,
do
bro.
it.
Period.
Hey,
You
guys,
can't
bro.
do it. So
If
let's
you were
get
in
to
front of
the.
me, you
Hold
would be
on
on the
just a
ground
second,
right
man.
now,
Hold on.
leaking.
Let
You
me hit
fuck
you up
boy.
with something, bro. There are some of us in this chat right here that you would never even see coming. You would just be playing a harp.
I don't give a
flying through the
fuck.
clouds.
Come do it, you bitch. Come do that shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck
You know
life.
why?
He's a
You know why I
gangster.
won't do
He's a
that? Because
gangster
I'm not an
wannabe.
emotions-based person like you.
I don't care.
You have this small little fucking
don't care, bro.
appearance, and you're projecting nothing but hatred.
Shut up.
Nothing but hatred from you, man.
Shut up,
Nothing but
pussy.
vitriol and ad hominem. You're nothing. You talk too much. You're nothing. He's nothing.
Care what you have to say,
He's
bitch. I'll
nothing.
fight
You're
on
nothing. You're zero. You're less than worm turds, man. Listen, I got more respect for a swamp leech than I do for you. You skinny little Choa wannabe motherfucker.
You have nothing on me, bro. You have nothing on me.
Blah, 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 blah.
You have nothing, bro. Shut the fuck up. You trying to hop in on beef?
Are we gonna move on here?
I'll hop in on whoever the fuck I want here. Paul invited me in here. Fuck you.
You fucking faggot.
Oh, I'm a faggot. You know what? That doesn't hurt my feelings. I've met faggots that are
I'm going
way
to appreciate it. And if it continues, you will not be welcome here. So what do you have to say about that?
Bro.
Going downhill fast.
Jesus Christ, man. He just
All right, can we move on?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I will keep going.
Can we move on?
You up in real life and keep going. You
Yeah, please. Let's
I bet
move
you're
on.
fun as fuck at parties, bro. Everybody loves it when you show up.
You are scared.
I bet you're really wild in the bedroom too.
Look at your bitch ass.
He swings from, he swings from a
I bet he's
chandelier.
a really wildy power bottom. Like I bet he pushes back into you too when you're thrusting.
God, he's an
Very
angry
cute.
fucking person. He's so fucking
I love
angry.
Please take,
I love when the
take your
males
shirt off
act
and
out.
show us your tattoos. Maybe you'll be scared.
Man, we got a wild ape here, man. This dude is
Josh's
a fucking
court face.
he's
That's
a wild
Josh's
ape,
court
man.
face.
Nah,
Press the eject button. Just press the eject button.
Take your shirt
I don't know
off.
what's going on here.
And so what
This
you
is the
did
kid
too,
that
you little
wanted
bitch.
legal advice. Is this the same kid that was asking for legal advice and like how to present at court? Because like, how would you present at court if
don't care no more.
Dude, you look
if
on
a
drugs.
judge threatened
I
you
would
with
love to
you'd be
fucking
like,
see
"Hey,
you
you fuck
face
you,
to face.
bitch, I'm gonna like." Is this how you would present at court?
I don't care. You want to act like that? You assholes, bro. I'm gonna fuck this whole
Jefferson, what drugs you on to admit? The first step
Like,
is
didn't
to
he
surrender.
want
What
help
drugs are you
presenting
on?
at court?
Wow.
I think the kid wanted help presenting at court. I think I had that right.
Why is he so angry? That's what I want to know. Where's this anger coming from?
He's on
Daddy
drugs.
wasn't there.
What happened to you to make you so angry, dude? Seriously, what happened?
I'm a Greek Irish fuck. That's the problem.
Why are you angry?
No. Let me tell him the real reason. Jefferson, let me tell him the real reason. You did not get accepted in the gang because you're a bitch.
It's a man, baby. It's a man.
You did not get accepted in the gang because you're a bitch. Now you're mad at everybody else. Stop crying. Nobody's accepts you. You're a bitch.
Somebody needs some counseling.
A fucking insecure bitch, man.
He needs major counseling. Gangster wannabe. He wants to fight everybody. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair, to change my underwear.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you, Godfrey?
I know. Who hurt you?
Somebody hurt this
Who
man.
hurt you?
Somebody hurt him. I want to know who hurt him so I can
His
go and
bunkie.
fuck up those people.
His bunkie last time he was locked up. All right, can we move on? Seriously.
Yeah, let's move
Hello?
on. Let's
Hello?
move on.
Hello?
You want to fucking threaten me? Show your face, army man.
We got it. Yeah, we got it. We're gonna move on.
My balls.
Jefferson, we got it. We're all scared of you. We got it. Let's move on.
Okay. All right, Timmy. I don't know what we're gonna do here. We're gonna have to reset somehow, some way. Can we reset? It's all right, Jefferson. I get it. You got a lot of fire in you, a lot of passion. You got to direct it, man. Get like a boxing bag or something, a heavy bag.
I've been training my whole life, dude. I'll fuck that army guy up too, bro. I'll snap your elbow.
I'll fuck the army guy up too. All right. Let's,
at the same time. Don't fucking talk to me about that shit.
all right, let's
Why don't
move
you go
forward.
get medicated? Maybe you need some medication like Xanax or something.
Nah, bro. You need to shut up or you get your ass beat.
Oh yeah, smoke weed. Yeah, smoke something.
You little fucking wannabe ass bitch. You're the fucking cholo wannabe. Fuck you. I got a fucking Naruto shirt on, bitch. I'm a nerd.
The beauty of your feelings and say the words.
Terry, what's up, bro?
Tattoos all
What's up, bro?
I love you, Dad. You're a nerd, right?
You turn on people left and right.
You got
turn on
tattoos
people every single
all over your body. What's that for?
His whole life. Every single episode you come through, and whoever you shit talk to, you start jumping on him, Terry. You just
He
love
comes
jumping.
back and now he wants me to take over the family business. But
you
Scott,
attacked
who's
Paul
going to take
before,
over the
Paul let it
world
go.
when I
Now
die?
you're attacking Timmy.
All right, you guys are fucking pissing me the fuck off now. You're talking over my clips, my genius clips, making something out of you guys' nonsense, and that doesn't work for me. It's one thing if you want to scream and yell and holler and act like children. When I'm playing the clips that are supposed to be funny, working with whatever you guys are not doing, you're talking over that too, so where we can't hear. So let's move on now, because this is fucking nonsense, and 180 people don't want to watch two grown men scream and yell. Maybe they do. I guess that may be part of the problem here in this society and culture. But I'm saying I'm done with it. It's nonsense. It's going nowhere. So let's move forward. All right. We got some governance here.
Yes.
Thank you, Tark. Tark's giving the high sign. He's allowing us to do that. Man shot and killed. Thank you. Man shot and killed by Detroit police after fatally shooting his nephew. A little bit of governance. We need some governance here on the panel. Starting to realize that. Governance may be legitimate.
Some good policy enforcement.
All right, let's press forward here. We're on the scene. We're on the scene. Timmy, we're on the scene. Timmy,
Stay on the line.
Timmy, we're on the scene. There's no body cam.
Can you hear
There's
me?
the body cam. There's the body cam. We're on the scene. got a call. Someone was yelling on a broadcast. He's got tattoos. He's threatening everyone. Okay. All right. Put your hands. Show me your hands. Yeah, he's dead. Show me your hands. I'm doing this for the camera. Okay. A little bit of governance. I got one more for you. This is like, it's the house I imagine they show up to as this broadcast. Suffolk police shoot man who stabbed. This is from my hometown, I believe, unless it's Suffolk, Boston. I think this is New York. Oh, this looks out east. More out east. Yeah, we got a call. Someone yelling about a broadcast. And they're going to be... Oh, man.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Something like the sound of shots fired in the snow.
Yeah. We saw absolutely nothing there. All we saw was the cop making snow angels.
You'll see it now.
Taser, taser, taser.
Yeah.
Man.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Point blank, too.
303 shots fired.
He went full Manson, didn't he?
Stand red.
Third view?
Go. Taser, taser, taser.
Just 6 shots, yeah.
Shot fired.
That is a
Shot
dead
fired.
man.
Send rescue. Send rescue. Send rescue.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, I'm not telling people they should attack police, but if you're going to attack the police, why do it with a knife? It never actually works. They just wind up gunning you down.
Knife to a gunfight,
weird.
bro. Knife to a gunfight.
Yes, I agree, Paul. But maybe they're crazy like Jefferson. They don't think mentally, so they come out with a knife with a gun. You know.
You think Jefferson would come running out of the house with a kitchen knife?
Yeah.
If the cop shot up because he was angry.
Because he's so angry, he can't get his temper. I don't. And I don't hate Jefferson. He just gets angry.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not angry anymore, bro. I'm glad you're not angry. That's good.
Just know that I respect you guys, and I want respect, and that's it. I'm my bad, dude. It's all good.
All right, fear and respect are not necessarily synonymous, but we'll move past it. We'll move forward. We're in and we're out. First Amendment win for Chile de Castro. It's a minute and a half because the whole Jefferson, please help me out. First Amendment win for Chile de Castro.
I want to fight you in a cage.
All right. You email him. Email each other. You can roll around together, fight, do whatever you want to do.
Hauling@protonmail.com.
Right. We got it.
Fucking beat your ass, bro.
Did everyone get that? He wants to beat your ass.
Slap in my face like that.
Who does he want to beat up?
Email him.
Timmy or me?
You, military guy.
Fuck up. Quit trying to mock me.
Private. He wants your privates, private.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
I'm not stupid.
All right.
I don't want to go to prison.
Cool.
All right. Can we get the win for De Castro? Because they're all yelling it's a win now. The whole frauditor, Republitard, right-wing, fake patriot community. I'm sure David Rodriguez is like, jumping up and down like a woman hollering, Chile's free.
Well, he got it
So let's go to that.
I mean,
I told you this would happen. Not only did I tell you that Chile de Castro would be called a winner, even though it was an embarrassing loss on every level, and the antithesis of what we're doing for rights, freedom, principle, spiritual faith, and uphold the law. I also told you that Donald Trump would be hailed as a hero the next day, and of course, we're on that too. So it's optics, right? It's optics. So let's go to that. See the hero. Win. Win.
Prohibited.
It only cost $100,000. 15 days left on the sentence, but we had an appeal and a judgment overturned. That's a win, according to the slaves.
Also, I mean, he gets out of the car. I mean, it appears to me he was going to release her regardless because it was so fast. He said, "You're free to go," and then he went to take care of the other issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we have in this particular one is he actually interfered.
God, look at that haggard bag.
The case law, I just want to point out that distinction.
Case law. Case law.
This time the court's going to grant
Get the law of the land and natural rights. Case law, which is not law.
based on its First Amendment unprotected
And that attorney you gave that 100 G's to is a slick one, huh?
Thank you very much.
Was it 100 grand?
He's a real boy. Yeah.
No clapping allowed, slave.
Yeah, and then they abused him on the way out like a slave. They go, hey, slave, do what we
That's a
say.
felony. You touch somebody in the gallery, it's a felony.
You ain't free yet, boy. You're still state property.
No,
Get back
no.
here. No, bad boy.
That is an arrestable offense.
Arrestable offense. You're already arrested, dumbass. Wait, you're gonna do what's already done to me right now? You're gonna do it again? What, are you gonna put a second pair of cuffs on me?
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna chain him up twice.
Listen, Chili already pledged his revenge tour 2.0, so he wrote a community post about it. So maybe we can bring Jefferson with him to unleash some fury.
Well, get ready for DeCastro to get 500 more 1,000 subscribers, another $1 million, to be hailed as a hero for the 1A freedom rights community. Optics are high, like your boy says. Don't look for Polyboy to ever get even 100,000 subscribers. You know what happened to the first channel. It's probably never going to happen.
You're blacklisted.
Yeah. But this was a win. This is patriotism. And for all you other underdog regular folks out there like DeCastro, all you got to come up with is 100,000 if you go to jail to get a reversal with 2 weeks left on the sentence, right? You'll only have to serve about 3/4 of the time that they say you got to serve, and you'll only have to pay 100,000 to get another man, part of a British corporation, to come in and speak for you and get the magistrate to maybe make a different decision with the rest of your life. That's called a civilized society. That's called U.S. corporation. That's called legal society, and that's exactly the opposite of what you want or what we need. So we're the government of and by and for the people. We can give orders to our servants. We, with affidavits, stand unrebutted. The affidavit stands true, right? We have the sovereignty as defined by court of record, not my word. That's their word. Court of record defines the man or woman of the people as the sovereign, aka the only one who can observe the law or make their own law or move the court based on the law. So that's their words and terms and definitions. You might want to go look at that. And this is like American jurisprudence. This is the foundation of what they call law or even legal process here, becoming more and more fascistic process and less natural rights and the recognition of the common man and the common law. Because again, part of the common law or an aspect of common law is, one of the ways common law can be interpreted is the practices of the men and women who live on the land. So if all the men and the women under God on the land right now don't believe in God and believe other men and women are their God and that policy and code is law, well, then that becomes the common law because it's common to all men and women. At one time, the common law was common sense. Hey, did I do wrong? Hey, who did I harm? Hey, what property did I mess up that I have to pay for or compensate? Hey, can I face my accuser? We don't seem to have that anymore on the whole. We have state ofs claiming to be the victims and charging all caps entities and getting men to show up in person, aka a mask wearer, claiming the surety for that all caps person, capitis diminutio maximus. It's a corporate entity. That's why the state of is claiming the victim and they're putting you on the other side as the corporate entity because they need two corporate entities to make the charges and create the interactions and the constructive fraud, some might say. I won't say that. I don't want to believe all courts on the land at this time have become defunct or dysfunctional in their ways and not following proper process and procedure and have used amendments to a constitution they claim is a living document to overthrow the law of the land, rights, freedom, and principles with corporate process and procedure, legal society and legalese, which is its own language like Chinese or Vietnamese. I wouldn't want to think that. Maybe the feds have something to say about that. If there's still some left who care about any of this, what's true and what's right in the actual law of the land. We'll see. A lot of folks locally at statewide getting indicted lately, a lot of them losing their jobs, a lot of them being put in jail for misusing official position and doing treason and traitorous behavior in or out of uniform. So best of times, worst of times. Do you have anything before we move forward here?
I got something. This guy's saying we don't live under common law and the foundation is natural law. Yes, maybe so, but it doesn't effectuate itself. Like the natural law isn't going to, maybe it does at the highest level, but like in your day to day, you have to press your common lore. What the lore is, the story that's common to you and your family and your tribe, you have to press that in a private. Otherwise, like you're just hoping that shit is just going to happen on its own.
All right, I never said that we live under anything unless we're going to do the conceptualization of God or the truth as a hierarchy, right? So that takes preference. And then again, the common sense ability united with the creational force and the one truth and the way leads to a common law and a common practice in common sense day to day by the men and women who apprehend that and activate that, right? So again, I don't, there is EBT says there's no such thing as a static common law. There is, in a sense, but an aspect of that is common practice. So when all the slaves on the land become mind and heart controlled, then the common law changes in a sense or becomes unrecognizable or unrecognized and then becomes common practice. Common practice nowadays, as you see, is antithetical to law. It's corporate fascism. It's actually unlawful. They'll claim it's legal, but what they're doing on this land is unlawful because it's essentially unlawful conversion of every man and woman into a corporate personage, all cap entity, and stripping them of their status, standing, title, and rights. The only reason it's not unlawful, technically, according to them, is because you're all choosing to do it by contract. They never forced you one time. You identified as that. You showed up when they charged the all caps person. You didn't rebut the presumption. You didn't make clear your status and standing in the differentiation between that person and who and what you are as a man, right? The common law, at least at one time, that still remains versus the common practice, right? So again, all courts on this land are defined, even on the websites, as common law courts, which essentially the common law of this land is the Constitution. But as I said earlier, the Constitution has been amended, so common lore and common law has become common practice through the amending of that common law, the law of this land. So now common practice is the antithesis of common lore, common law, universal law, natural law, with a man having natural rights. Now most men and women have duties and obligations imposed by the legal society, which they think is their representative government. Right. So basically is their society. Nobody can force you to believe that, and nobody can force you to interact with that. Jack Talcott apparently not interested in me telling him that I don't need him here necessarily after he wants to come here and play duplicitous games in the chat. So I'll allow him to be here. I'm a man of forgiveness and faith, maybe more than even is necessary or beneficial to myself and others here. Right. I'm not necessarily wanting to outcast Jack Talcott or add anything more onto his journey than has already been put there on his plate. But again, I can't compromise my sensibilities and my understanding and discernment and buy into something that I can't witness or experience. If I did do that, I would think most people would lose respect for me. Even though I'm disrespectful to a lot of people here, on some level, I think they retain respect for me because I'm not willing to waver on something unless I'm compelled to with facts or experience. And oftentimes I'm not, right? So your thoughts, Mr. Jack Talcott, in general. We have Brick Jonesy. Hold on a second. I'm going to screen him, Talcott. But you can go ahead while I get this up if you got something.
If you said that earlier, I did not hear it. I did notice I was blocked from the chat before I hit the link. I
didn't want any more life coaching advice. I didn't want any more.
All right.
Is Brick Jonesy there? Can I hear? Can you hear me, sir, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you, Brody.
You're good to go. You ain't gonna pull your dick out, at least not here, right?
No. I'm not into all that stuff.
What about in private? Like, what if Timmy's really into that? Like, will you consider it private?
No, I'm sorry, Timmy. It's not gonna happen.
Okay, let's move on. Timmy, I threw you under the bus. I was asking for a friend.
He meant Paul. He meant himself.
Yeah, a little bit of gay humor. I mean, isn't that how men sort of bond nowadays? By getting real gay with each other from time to time. If we're not going to beat each other, we're going to fuck each other is what I've learned on these panels. Very odd. Human sort of courting process, right? It's a lot like police, right? Courting. You go into court and you're like, are you going to beat me or fuck me today? What are we going to do? And then we kind of decide over time. So I don't know. I've learned how to fit in with the humans. I feel like someone from another planet, but I've learned that when you hang out with a group of men, you threaten each other to beat each other, or you make jokes about fucking each other, and then we bond somehow, some way. Your thoughts, Brick Jonesy or Mr. Talcott or anyone else? Because we're coming down to the wire here. We got a few minutes left. We're probably going to go over time, but that's okay. But I want to start winding down a bit. Right? I'm feeling complete.
I feel that, Brody. So yeah, no, I just wanted to hop up because I just wanted to. Well, first, I appreciate you having me up. I know that I've been in your chats a couple of times. You've thrown a couple jabs, which is cool. I love it, bro. I love the humor. I love it, bro. And I have told many people, that I tend to agree with Paul. He's not telling any lies. He's not, right? There is something that is at play here, which is that the governmental powers that be, the chieftains, whatever you want to call them, there's something else going on here, right? What Paul's talking about, he's very accurate. He's very truthful. He's honest. He's telling you the truth, okay? Now, I do want to point out one thing, and you guys kind of brought it up. I threw the comment down that the foundation of the land here, it comes over from maritime law. It's natural law that was borrowed over. It comes from the Declaration of Independence, right? It's not the Constitution. A lot of people believe it's the Constitution is the foundation. I just wanted to point that out, that technically it's the Declaration of Independence, right? And that's where it talks about natural law. The Constitution is like a secondary document. It's actually an anti-law document. It tells you what laws can't be written. So I just wanted to point that out. I actually like what you're doing here. You tell the truth, bro. I want you to continue on. You're a preacher of truth. Man, just keep up the good work. That's all I could say.
All right. Well, as much as something about that term preaching has never sat well with me, because most people I've met in life who preach don't live what they talk. So if we can come up with a new terminology that incorporates living what I speak along with preaching, then I'll teaching? Support that move.
How about teaching?
Okay. But then they'll say those who teach don't do, right? Or can't do. See the game
this
they keep.
Darned English language. Yeah, I feel that.
Speaker.
Look, man, as long as your basis is truth, way, and life, you don't have to be labeled as a teacher or a preacher. Because
today I'm like an activist. If I'm going to do entitlements today to have a position above other people in my ego, I'm going with activist. It feels good to me today. Right?
I like
active. Active's in the word. I'm active. I know that. Is that my alien creature? Yeah, I have an alien creature who I've allowed to be on the panel. It's studying along with me. I'm also studying the human race. Alien creature, I appreciate your contribution there. He says he's rather entertained by this human endeavor, like this whole idea of consciousness, awareness, having a living body that you inhabit, doing principles and values and rights. It's rather interesting dance and story, alien creature says. He says he wants more of that. Right? It's kind of boring on his planet. Are you ex-military, Brick Jonesy? Real quick.
I try not to get too much into the personal life.
That's a yes.
But
okay.
I can tell you that my father served. He served 22 years active duty, 30 years civil service. So I'm a brat. I can tell you that.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Talcott. We're gonna do final words after you give your presentment, if you will, and then we're out of here till tomorrow.
Hey, to go with what you offered to me, I wanted to come back and offer you apologies. The last time you visited my stream, I didn't let us have fun. And that's really what I wanted to do with you. You let us have fun. Thank you, brother. And I
appreciate it.
Okay. Peace. Brother.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a time for the truth and the challenging and the testing and the real shit. And we do that too. And then, yeah, there's a time to just kind of be, man, and, kick it back and forth and accept who and what we are, where we're at. We could be perfect in our imperfection, cupcake a little bit, say, hey, this is a journey in life. We're all on it. None of us are completed pictures at this time. But because none of us are perfect and completed pictures, we have no complete ability to judge anyone else, right? But again, we can't neglect discernment for the cupcaking process, because what is still what is. Experience is still credible and legitimate. Cause and effect is still a modality we have to observe and understand, right? So it's a little bit of this and that. I like to try to rest on the middle ground as much as possible to avoid extremism, Give me some final words here, gentlemen. Of course, I use that term loosely, and I'm going to close it down.
I'll be happy to go next, Paul. I was also just looking to have fun with you as well. But we don't need to make it creepy in here. We don't really need to make it creepy. Everybody up here is either...
It's gay enough between me and Jack Talcott. There's some kind of thing there, right? He's got an extreme attraction to me. Yeah, and he's like the daddy I always had. I was going to say never had, but he's like the daddy I always had. So
he wants to flirt with you as much as Jefferson wants to fight with you, if that makes sense. Like, it's on that level.
Right. Man, you better. Well, that's Jefferson's love language, right? It's like that's his flirting, is beating on people and being beaten. That's everyone has their own love language.
Yeah. So, but thanks for having me up, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, sir. Good to see some new faces and characters here. I guess the Bryan bump worked to some degree, right? We're trading places here, so it's good to see some higher numbers today, some new faces, the same conversation with some new people. That always kind of inspires me a bit and kind of shakes things up, livens it up a bit. I enjoy that process. If it's not for the numbers and everything else and the ego, at least I like to see some new faces. Mix it up a bit. Right, it gets a bit stale. Go ahead, give me the final words, Brian O'Shea. Looked like you wanted to go next.
Jefferson, what's up with you saying you're part of the O'Shea clan? You're my cousin. What was that all about?
O'Shea clan.
What is that all about?
He also is full of bitterness, resentment, and anger, and lives in his car. Is basically what that means. O'Shea clan.
We're the same kin.
Technically, I'm part of it too. If we're gonna be candid.
My mom's maiden name, so my mom's side is Irish, and we live pretty similarly, bro. I get pulled over all the fucking time. I gotta just talk my way out of shit. Well, where'd he go? But yeah, much love, Brian. I don't know where he went. But yeah, info.
All right, he ran off. I didn't do that. All right, are you out of here, Jefferson? Are you good to go? I'm gonna put you in the back.
Yeah, we good.
Before you
I'm
go,
good,
look,
bro. I'm always good. I move forward. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Before you go, Jefferson, and I'll take this as my last word. Man, look, I'm an old guy. Okay, I ain't trying to fight no one unless I have to, and I have no reason to want to beat you up or to allow you to beat me up, which you absolutely probably would. Because I'm an old guy, man. I'm hurt, and I'm old, and I'm slow, and I ain't what I used to be, man. I won't lie. But I have nothing against you, man. Nothing at all. And also, man, no problem. Man, I know shit gets heated, and you're Irish, so that explains it. But that Irish anger will go away when you get a little bit older. Trust me, it'll go away. It will go away. It will go away. It will. I promise you.
Tell that to my grandmother from the Murphy side, who was 90 years old, fighting everybody and arguing to the last day.
Well, some people are super special that way. I want to thank you, Paul, and Jonesy. Look for an email, bro, because I want to talk to you when we don't have other people yelling and screaming. You feel me?
Heard. Yeah, bro. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I would love to. Yeah.
Paul, thanks a lot, man. And Timmy, dude, your contributions were fucking hilarious, man. I'm glad I got to come on here and talk to you guys. Anytime I learn something, it's a good day. It's a day when I take a step forward. All right, much love to you, cats. Watch your email there, Jonesy, and I'll be talking to you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to having you back. Join me as much as you have time in your schedule, right? I like folks up here competent, capable, have some life experience, can talk a little bit, and also yield to my rambling and ranting and insanity.
It's your fucking show, man. It's your show.
Wow.
It
is what it is, right? What is it without other people?
You're the host, bro.
I'm telling you right now, I used to do this show in my room, and at that point, it was called mental illness. Ever since I had panel members and an audience, they say that it's a broadcast. So I actually need you guys to avoid being locked up and put away my own way, right? So what am I without you? What are you without me at this point? What are we without this broadcast? This is our home away from home. All right, get the hell out of here, Savage. We appreciate you, and I look forward to having you back. go ahead, Brick Jonesy, since he addressed you. Give me the final word if you got one.
Yes, sir.
Move it
yeah.
along here.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you having me up. Look forward to more conversations. I appreciate you having me up this time, and just kind of cleared the air. I feel like with the foundation there, it's one point I just wanted to make, and then past that, bro. Like I said, man, keep up the good work. It's a journey, right? This life thing. We do learn every single day something new, right? And so that's so important. Just continue on it, bro. And thank you so much for having me up. All right, later, bro.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Jefferson, how you feeling now, man?
Hey, yeah, I just want to formally apologize out of respect for Paul and Timmy. The way that you handled everything, I have more respect for you as well. So, and my bad for bringing up fighting so much. It's just I've trained my whole life in martial arts, and that was always my way of kind of like leveling out shit. And I don't know, I need to get over it. So,
I feel you, man. I feel you. It's all good, man. I got nothing against you. Anytime you hear me saying something, it's like I'm talking to the mask, right? Like a mask, and it's not really personal, honestly. But it's a broadcast at the end of the day too. I mean,
for sure, brother.
But,
yeah, you're good, bro.
It's like we strive to be more functional in life, but to do a broadcast, at times you have to strive for dysfunction, it seems, or at least allow it. It's very counterintuitive and counterproductive at times. But hey, it's its own entity. It's its own thing, right? You got to love it for what it is. It's very reflective of life. As much as we strive for wholeness and completion, we seem to exhibit chaos many times along the way. Chaos and confusion. So
yeah,
I guess we have to embrace one and understand one in order to achieve the other. At least that's my hope. If not, we're fucked. Give me a final word, man. Is that your final word, Jefferson? I'm throwing you out. I don't want you to get mad again.
Yeah,
I don't want you to beat anyone up. I want to get you out of here before we have another body on our hands.
All right. I'm glad we're all friends, and I hope to see you guys. Out. Much love.
All right. I'll see you later. Go ahead, Poncho. Do you have anything? I can't hear you if you're saying anything. You're not saying anything, are you? All right. If you're saying something, I can't hear you. I'm putting you in the back. I'm not doing this. I want to go eat something. I haven't eaten yet today. All right. But let me be a little selfish here. Timmy, final words, please. And we got a new Gorilla Gems on the way out. He did exactly what I asked him for yesterday immediately. So I'm going to give you that on the way out.
Much love. I'm not going to do it.
Rizal.
I'm out.
Get the hell out of here. All right. That was Timmy, everybody. Timmy, everybody. Coming at you. Another broadcast with Unslaved. It was weird. It was wild. It was all the things. Beautiful in its ugliness. I'll be back tomorrow, people. Somewhere between 12 and 5 MDT. Look for it. Don't expect the notification because we're frowned upon here, right? We're the outcasts. We're on the fringes. We're no Chile de Castro. We're no law scholars here, but we're going to get it done some way, somehow. All right, I love you. If you don't love the truth back, forget about me. I'm probably going to tell you to go fuck yourself. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Paul Discontent on your way out. Don't let the door hit you, all right? Gorilla Gems, can we have a new Paul Unslaved intro, outro? Paul Discontent. Did you clip this and do something with it, please? It'll give me a renewed sense of faith and inspiration. This is full bit right here. I want full bit. Like we're going all the way in on this one. Hold on, even let me even get the music. I think this calls for some music. The perfect. This is how we do bits on the fly here. We
Peace out, haters. Be your karma, little bitches. You don't know who you disrespected. It's okay. It's okay. I know I make you insecure. Keep me in the back, faggot. Fuck you and your lame ass broadcast. To waste some time anyway. And you're a fucking pussy hater, Paul.
Yeah, I'm the hater, right? He just exposes that once again, he has always been and is an undercover / deep cover / at the open hater. Because this is the second or third time he's done this. Whenever he doesn't get what he wants, he projects onto me. Why would I hate on you? You don't have shit. You're not doing shit. You're not on my radar for being or doing anything. I'm not jealous of you. You guys got it backward. You follow me regularly. You apparently want something from me or with me, or something that I am or have. I don't know what it is.
Paul.
And when I don't give you the validation and I don't appeal to you, I'm the hater now. That's you. I'm doing broadcast here. Not here to be your babysitting, validating daddy. So take it somewhere else. Incredible how they all come out in the open for who and what they always are, because they don't get what they want with me. And I always entertain them more than I should, because it always winds up that way. Just from day one, I should go, just stay the fuck out of here. I don't need you here, and you're interfering with what I'm doing. And even when I call attention to you and try to give you a voice or give you some time, it's never enough. So just don't fucking come here at all if you're going to play the codependent, needy bullshit with me. Go to therapy and fix your issues with your mommy and daddy and yourself before you come here and project it onto me.
And yo, in case the audience missed it, I'm pretty sure that this guy, the first time he came on, was like, yo, Paul, want to come live with me? He's like, I got some land in California.
Yeah, that's what I want to deal with.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, so I can deal with that every time that I'm not doing whatever they want from me. Now I got broken system, the genius here. Look at him.
I'm just getting my stream together, Paul. There's 7 people.
I can't broadcast right now. I just want to give you the update like I do every day that I can't broadcast right now, but I will sometime in the future. But I will restream. Thank you. Thank you. I just slammed my head into my phone and broke the glass into multiple pieces and then picked up a piece and slit my wrist with it. It's content. It's content non-tent. Because I'm discontent. That's part of the bit that goes on here. Paulie discontent. Can we, Gorilla Gems, can we have a new Paul Unslaved intro, outro? Paul discontent. Could you clip this and do something with it, please? It'll give me a renewed sense of faith and inspiration. If you could take religion and a spiritual process and make somebody activate a part of themselves that they didn't know was there, you got something there. And I think that's all of what we're doing in all ways, is trying to reunite and reactivate those parts of ourselves that we've had cut off or we've had dormant to try to survive in this sick and twisted dynamic. The spiritual practice, right? Certain things like I do here, just meeting with people daily, talking it out, doing a simulation, right? Imagining certain things. Maybe a form of meditation, you could argue. Will reform the perspective. Will reform the way we think and feel and how we act and live, if there's truth there that resonates. So that's the modality I prefer, because I think anything else is kind of a shortcut, and really it's just a tool meant for extremes that, you know, even then you still have to come back to your life and learn how to live it. It might just be that everybody should have some experience in their life that takes them out of themselves and it forces them to surrender over to something so they can learn the art of surrender in certain situations. You know, how do we learn to really live and thrive again? Cool to have structure, habit, procedure, process, certain levels of responsibility, accountability that lead to success. How are we going to love again? How are we going to live again? How are we going to thrive and co-create, have community, right? So I see both aspects in self, and I see a lot of those same aspects in others that come forth in these spaces. But again, it's a slippery slope in a world of religious dogmatics, when the other side of that is actual nihilist, infidel, worldly scum who really want a whole population on drugs, right? It's a slippery slope, because one side's going to call you the devil, the other side's going to say, yeah, let's do that, so they can take drugs all day, every day, and claim it to be the all. I can't, that's why I can't support it and promote it, because I know what it will turn into.
God of all media,